Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy.
You are listening to FANTASM Podcast.
Hey, this is Trevor Sternad.
Hynes back from the Black Dahlia murder.
Tom Gabriel Warrior. Eric Green from Simple Tour.
Ross Dolan from Immolation.
This is Anthony Michael.
We are Gorgasm.
Ismail from Crater.
This is RDC of Body Count.
Terrence from Suffocation.
FANTASM Podcast.
Join your host Corey Gorchrist and Dr. Vincent West for exclusive interviews with the sickest bands in metal and more. Head over to cultopphantasm.com, the only gravesite for all things horror and death metal. No filler, all killer. Now please welcome our guest of honor.
This is Sean of INGESTED, and you're listening to the FANTASM Podcast.
What the fuck is up, and welcome to FANTASM Podcast. I'm Corey Gorchrist. With me, as always,
Dr. Vincent West.
Greetings and salutations, motherfucker. What's up?
what's going on, man? We got an awesome episode for you guys, and we got Sean from Ingested as our guest. It's pretty fucking exciting. Stoked for the new album. They got Where Only Gods May Tread. It comes out August 14th on Unique Leader Records. So pre-orders are up on Indie Merch Store, other places. Check it out. Got some videos on the interwebs. Got an interesting film courtesy of Tubi here in the quarantine era of Phantasm. It actually looks pretty good. It's Full Moon Pictures. Doctor, what film have we brought today?
A movie I have not watched since I watched it on VHS, and my God, if the Blu-ray looks like this, that's just fucking disgusting. But this is Castle Freak, which I liked a lot as a kid. This is a Stuart Gordon film, I believe.
Yep, Castle Freak.
Stuart Gordon, the director of Fortress, The Pit and the Pendulum, and Reanimator, takes you into the dungeons of Castle d'Orsino. Now an American family.
Welcome to Castle Riley, lady.
Will inherit a legacy of evil.
They say the castle is haunted.
And a master of modern horror. Will unleash his most terrifying creation. Stuart Gordon's Castle Freak.
There's somebody else here! There's somebody in the castle!
We want you to search the castle. Giorgio Dorsino. He was never buried. She kept him alive. He's here somewhere in the castle. There was a madman in there, but my family is in danger.
Reanimators Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton in Stuart Gordon's Castle
Freak. Jeffrey Combs. I think Barbara Crampton's in this, right?
She is, which we were supposed to get on as a guest, and somebody fucked us over on that, not her, but...
Right.
It's always fantastic. Shout out to people fucking us over. Thank you so much. It happens all the time.
We're still bending over, so anytime you want to come in here and just give us a good old porking and then go for it. Yeah, I was this 1995, so I was 5-year-old Gore Christ when this came out.
This is a good year to do too, because Ingested is a newer band, and for me, you know, not to revolve, but I'm just saying, you know, and this is kind of this is an interesting one. I noticed there was an anniversary recently for that Dagon movie, so I thought, you know, let's do
another Combs.
Dagon's probably on the map actually, but I didn't think about that one.
I think it is actually, but it's fine. Let's see. We can try to find some trivia on this.
That's another Jeff Combs movie for people out there listening. But anyway,
it is.
Maybe Stuart Gordon did take on, I think. Anyway, I don't know, but yeah.
Not sure. There's not a lot on this film as far as trivia and shit like that we usually do, courtesy of IMDb, among other things.
Where's your demon cat?
Yeah. It says goofs. I guess the only trivia on here listed is the poster for this film was designed prior to the script being written. I'm not sure which poster they're referring to. I'm guessing it's the main one, like not what was on Tubi with the face, like, but the, you know, like the actual DVD cover, I think, is the main poster for it. This cat's fucking weird looking. Is she gonna whip the cat? Yep. She's cracking that whip at the fucking cat.
She's hitting somebody. I guess that's the cat.
That was the cat, yeah. Oh yeah, the cat got in the way of the whip. Yeah, he's like, okay, that's interesting. We'll go straight to Boots.
Look, Corey, it's your last relationship.
Yeah, and I'm the fucking castle freak.
And mine.
Yeah, that's very relatable content in this movie.
We just get the hell beat out of bleeding.
We got some goofs.
Thank you!
Woo! And he talked about a Taco Bell butt. So attractive.
It's like, here's your slop.
Yeah. We got goofs as far as trivia, so we'll start with that. When the Duchess is taking bread and dried sausage to the freak in the opening sequence, so it's not a spoiler, that's already happened. The sliced bread has a gaping hole in it in the kitchen, but the hole... Wait, what? Okay, hang on. The freak in the opening sequence, the sliced bread has a gaping hole in it in the kitchen, but is whole by the time it makes it to the dungeon. You know, a little
somebody would notice that it has too much time on their hands.
I don't know, a little continuity error there, but now this bitch is getting sick. I think.
Are you with me on that? It's like you have way too much time on your hands if you.
It's like you noticed the hole was not there; it was actually half a loaf.
Just FYI, I just want everybody to know that I always thought this old hag looked like Mozart. So Mozart serves the castle freak its nasty bread and giblets, and then fucking rots on its bed. Now they show the oh god, that's disturbing. She's fucking gross. God, she's nasty. Full Moon Entertainment. Shout out to Charles Band. Remy Killmaster in Castle Freak.
Yeah. Corey Gorechrist.
Dr. West, Castle Freak.
Corey Gorechrist and Dr. West in Castle Freaks.
It's Corey Combs and Vincent Crampton.
It's Jeffrey Combs and I Did.
Richard Parker Fuller.
Yep.
And Cody Shirley.
Cody Shirley. So if you guys are following along, whether you have this on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, fucking Laserdisc, Betamax,
or the
Tubi app, please follow along with us. We would love for you to do that. It makes it a lot easier. Or you can just listen to us babble over this movie for an hour and 35 minutes. I mean, it's up to you.
We will.
We've done this for over 4 years of doing this. You know, if you guys have been following along that way, that's hardcore as fuck. If you actually are like, sweet, new Phantasm's on. Why they got Castle Freak putting it on? Love you for that. That's awesome. We encourage that.
Somebody is doing that. I often wonder if it's just crickets when we do this.
So we're at 6 minutes and 15 seconds on the film. So if you guys need to catch up, we got Optic Nerve on the special makeup effects, which I think does all the Stuart Gordon shit. But yeah, it's another Stuart Gordon thing they had on here that I will never watch again.
Your band did the music.
Yep.
Sean, I just wanted to tell you you've been banded.
Unofficially, this isn't a knock. You know, we want to talk about the actual.
I think it's fun. This is a good movie.
This is a good movie.
I think she's nude in this, which is always a plus for me and Corey.
Yes. Which you're gonna expect some Mr. Skinless here later, so we'll see.
I'm pretty sure she is. I mean, it's not like from beyond hot. Nothing's that hot, but...
Okay, so Optic Nerve Studios has won 3 Emmy Awards for work on Babylon 5, The X-Files, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Whoa.
Fucking 3, kids. Real quick, I'm going to take a weird change of pace of the show right now, if it's okay, may I?
Go for it.
What TV show have you been watching, and if not recently, most recently? Or recently?
Still watch a lot of
retro.
Deep Space Nine, and then if we're on the 90s shit here, I've been watching, and it's on the Tubi app, and when I found it, I started screaming up and down in my apartment, and I watched like fucking 13 episodes in a row, fucking Beast Wars Transformers. That was my shit when I was younger, and the whole goddamn thing's on Tubi.
Awesome. Guess what I've been watching?
What's that?
It's on Hulu, for those that don't have the Blu-rays. But the interesting thing on the Blu-rays, though, for what I'm about to tell you about, there's only season 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because that, to me, is when the show got really good. I had been watching Smallville, and I forgot how much I loved that show.
That is a really good show, and for somebody who hasn't really followed Superman much, like, I like that show.
Well, it's a good DC thing. And I was very disappointed with a lot of what the CW is doing now, which used to be the WB.
Yeah.
Which it was better when it was the WB, and now it kind of sucks. But I'm really enjoying it. I've been watching that, and it's quite good. I've been watching some X-Files stuff here and there in my days. I've watched a bunch of weird stuff. Of course, I've been watching a lot of Star Trek, I always do, but... this fan-made thing that they put out called Short Treks, I've been watching some of that. It's kind of interesting.
Nice. Well, here's Combs and Barbara Crampton here. It's always nice to see them together. Classic Stuart Gordon shit. It's fun. It's a comfortable horror when you see them both together. It just makes it all the better. So, love Jeffrey Combs. He's on Deep Space Nine quite a bit. He's I'm trying to remember. He's a Ferengi.
No, he's Wayun. He's a fucking...
Well, he's that, but he's also on an episode I watched. He's a Ferengi. He's like a...
he's a multiple...
There's
but his main character on DS9, he's Wayun.
Right. But there's an episode where Quark is like...
Right.
He's bidding on shit, and that dude comes in, and he tries to, like, sell him on this sale thing, and he goes to do it.
The Wayun is what the answer I was looking for there.
Yeah. Right, but I didn't know. I didn't remember, but I don't even remember the Ferengi's name that he plays.
He talks like this when he's Wayun.
Yeah, he's the fucking shit.
This movie just feels weird. It felt, is this a gore, explosion thing? No, but it's just good,
It was a good horror movie, and it's actually underrated. I think it's definitely a, it's one of the better full moon movies. I mean, if you're looking into like
it's gonna make my job real easy as far as music tonight.
Yeah, me too, because I was actually alive when this movie was out.
It's gonna make your job really interesting for movie stuff, I think.
Yeah, so I was actually alive when this movie came out, so it's nice to have that. If you want,
are we concrete that this movie's 95, not 94 or anything?
It's 95. For sure. Which I don't know if we did 95 the last time, because we did... I don't remember. We've done 95
no, we
or not.
Didn't. I'm looking at stuff that no.
Okay, yeah, we have, and there's a lot of shit from 95 on here. Well, if you want, we can queue up the Chuck and do Altering the Future.
Yeah, because I'm excited to do this music stuff.
I'm excited for the movie stuff. Saw a lot of these. Some of your favorite movies are on here, too, so we'll do it. Cue up the Chucky.
Altering the Future!
Altering the Future, for those of you just tuning in for some reason, this is the first episode you picked out of all the Phantasm episodes. We appreciate it, but we got to catch you up to speed. Altering the Future, whatever our feature film is, what year it came out, we'll take you back to that time and check out some of the other movies that came out around, in that same year, and as well as the music. Sometimes it makes it more difficult than others when we get some of those 60s movies, Vincent Price stuff, and there's not a lot to work with as far as music, so or movies, so it's been a challenge here and there, but this stuff, we get into later stuff, and 80s are always, we repeat a lot of the stuff, but it's fun for us to do, and it's a good little trivia segment for us, so have fun with it. I usually do the horror movies last, and I'll just go through some of the hits from the year, as well as the doctor. He'll go through some hits of the year from the stuff that he likes, whatever. We'll go through it, you'll listen to it, you like it or not, go fuck yourself. So here we go. Just going to run through some good ones here. We got a movie I've been seeing, a movie that's been coming up a lot lately that I actually really like, that a lot of people have been watching during quarantine, because I think they just put it on Netflix or Hulu or one of those things. Clueless, which I do like that movie. I know it's weird, but it's a good movie.
Okay, hold on right there, hold on.
Which I think we just had a conversation.
I have something weird to say.
I think we just had a conversation right before this phone call where you said you hated Alicia Silverstone, and I'm like, hi, I like Clueless. It's just kind of funny, but...
No, listen, that's not where I'm going with it. No, we did, but this what I'm about to say is really positive. It has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
I do not like that movie. However, I love, Saved by the Bell love.
Yeah.
The Clueless television show. I loved it.
It's a good show, too. Absolutely.
It is impossible to find on anything.
Mm-hmm.
There was never a DVD release of it. There was never a fucking VHS release of it. There's nothing. You can't watch it. And, dude, if I could binge watch that show right now tonight, I would drink a 12-pack and watch every episode of it. I loved the TV show. I don't know why, but I fucking loved it.
It was good. I vaguely remember it, but it was good. Because I like that movie, so I watched that show.
Well, you had the cast from the movie minus Alicia Silverstone, so
yeah,
it was really good.
It was perfect. That's good. Clueless. We got Waterworld, which I loved when I was this age, too. I mean,
good movie. All
this stuff I was seeing right when it came out, some of it in theaters, so, this was, stuff I can actually be like, oh, I saw that in theaters, I had it on VHS, The horror movie stuff I found out on my own, older shit, but obviously I wasn't around when they came out, but I was living it, still living it. One of my favorite movies growing up, Jumanji. Fucking love that movie. Love the new ones. Doctor got me turned on to those. Those are both currently streaming on Amazon Prime. So, yeah, they're fucking hysterical. The first one is not free. The second one, Return to the Jungle or whatever it's called, that one is free on Amazon Prime Video. The first one I rented for $4.
The first one I thought was so good. The second one's good too, but the first one...
It is. It's hilarious. And because the second one's...
Black's actually funny in that, man.
He is. He's great. That's one of his best roles in a long time. But yeah, that one's like $3.99 to rent, so I rented that and then watched the second one because it was free. So yeah, I loved them. Loved them. Of course, the original one it's just great. Young Kirsten Dunst, you got Robin Williams. It's just a great movie. Here's a Dr. West special. You got Heat, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, my boy Val Kilmer.
Let me just say that Robert De Niro is the coolest motherfucker in that movie, and it's also the only movie where I ever hated Al Pacino. I actually am rooting for De Niro in that.
Yeah, he's a fucking bunshole in that movie. We got another classic. I'm just going to go back to back on you, and this is one that's special, more to the doctor than me, but it's also special to both of us at this point because of how much we make it a joke on our daily routines now. And I watched it a couple weeks ago after I got home from work, I just ate some food and was hanging out, and I was laughing my fucking nuts off. And it's because we kind of relate the characters to ourselves. Fucking Casino, man.
Oh, it's so good.
Martin Scorsese, Al Pacino, another Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, another Robert De Niro. It's Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, fucking Sharon Stone. It's just a great. Don Rickles is great in it. It's fucking hilarious. So yeah, very quotable movie, very butchered on television. So if you guys want a good laugh, another thing the doctor showed me a while back. Look up Casino TV Edit, and you'll have fun with it. Stick you in the filthy desert. Anyway,
it's great. Freak you, Sam Rothstein.
Yes.
Freak you.
Freak you.
I can't give me no. Give me no. Anyway.
Wait, did you call my friend a maggot? Tell him to go stuff himself? Yeah.
Do what?
I said you. So wait a second. You mean to tell me you call my friend a maggot and told him to go stuff himself?
Oh yeah, it's priceless.
Let's see. Apollo 13. I remember that was huge back then.
I've never seen that film.
It's good. You know, it's one of those drama movies.
Here's the thing with that.
It's Brian Grazer. You know, produced it or whatever.
Tom Hanks in that fucking movie.
Yeah, and Kevin Bacon. I think.
Listen, I want to explain something to everybody out there.
Bill Paxton.
It's very important. Just remember anybody else can believe, but I'm picking on Hanks here. Tom Hanks is a fucking comedian.
Yeah.
Okay? This serious actor shit, which I blame fucking Bruce Springsteen in that fucking AIDS movie, that Philadelphia thing. I don't care if it's social commentary or not. It ruined his goddamn career. It turned him into this fucking self-righteous fruit.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I love the Burbs, man. Like, I love that movie. I love him as a comedian, like Bachelor Party. It's like Dragnet. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, Tom? And he refuses to go back to that stuff. It's like, I'm mature now. It's like...
Oh, wait, here's our first ad.
Like, no, I'm not watching it.
You gotta pause it. I got an ad, like, right now happening. It's one thing with Tubi, folks. It's a free app, but there are ads in the middle of it.
It started right when yours did. We're good.
Okay, we're just linked up. So usually, you know, there's a lot of we got an ad, but we'll keep going while we got an ad here, folks. We got Billy Madison, one of my favorites. It's probably everyone likes Happy Gilmore. Billy Madison was always my favorite. Adam Sandler.
Sorry, I gotta go Gilmore.
Gilmore's the better film, but Billy Madison to me was funnier because it's more my. He's just like an asshole in Happy Gilmore, which is amazing. But he's more like my kind of stupid humor when I was growing up, Billy Madison, because I kind of related to him as a man-child and someone who's...
A lot of people like that one. I don't like that one. I like
he's more like me if I was just grown up that way. Like, if I was growing up a rich kid, I probably would have turned out like Billy Madison. So I'm just very annoying and juvenile. That's kind of... It's more relatable. Desperado. It's fucking Robert Rodriguez. You got Antonio Banderas and Steve Buscemi's in it, actually, he's great in that movie. And Salma Hayek, of course.
Movie.
Yeah, it is good.
It's good. It's a good movie.
Really, 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 really good comedy. This is top tier, folks, and it's fucking Tommy Boy with Chris Farley, David Spade.
Oh, it's great. Black Sheep's better, in my opinion, but...
It is.
You know.
Black Sheep is the better one, I think. You got Major Payne.
Why is it better? Let me go and give you guys a quote. This is why that movie's better. What is that? I don't know. It's Ozzy Osbourne. Anyway.
Major Payne. I love Major Payne when I was a kid. We got Ghost in the Shell.
Nick Castle directed that movie.
He did direct it. Nick Castle, the old shape. Damon Wayans, of course. One of my favorite parts of that whole film. And I was a ROTC kid in high school, so it's kind of funny that ended up being a thing. My favorite quote is when the kid starts this fat kid starts, laughing or whatever. He's like, bleep, 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 what are you laughing at, Tubby? You find a piece of candy in your pocket? It's my favorite part. And he calls the kids turds. It's really funny. Ghost in the Shell, it's an anime. It's a really good film.
That is good.
Got Judge Dredd with Stallone. Didn't like that movie that much because I didn't like he took his mask off, so I was against the comic books, and I read the comics before I watched that film.
But the movie,
but it's good.
If you go back and watch it now, it's pretty fun.
It is. No, it's a good movie. And shout out to Tony from Venom Inc. for he was a cannibal in that film. So shout out to you. What else we got? We got Friday, amazing comedy movie. It's hilarious.
Never seen it. Never will.
Friday's really good.
I will never watch it. I hate fucking Chris Tucker, and I hate Ice Cube even more.
We got The Quick and the...
These are fun facts about Dr. West, kid. If everybody's watching it, I'm not.
We got The Quick and the Dead with Sharon Stone, and it also has little Leo.
That movie was a turd.
Leo DiCaprio and Gene Hackman.
That movie was a turd.
This is a favorite of Dr. West Bad Boys, Michael Bay.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is. It's a favorite of yours. You love it. Let's see.
You were just rocking out the dog shit on D25.
I know.
It's just dog shit, dog shit, dog shit.
Yep. I'm listing off all the notable ones that everyone's seen. Let's see. Empire Records.
I do like that one.
Yeah, that one is good.
I like that one. I really do. That's a good one.
Got Robin Tenney from, what is she in? The Craft and End of Days.
That cast is good. That movie's just good.
It is. Liv Tyler's in it.
It's good.
Here's a couple wubbies for me in a row. You got Casper. The only reason I really liked that movie, and I always watched it, was because fucking Dan Aykroyd has a Ghostbusters cameo in it where he comes out as Ray, and I of course
I've never seen it.
Whole reason I watched it. Toy Story. It's another one. I saw that in theaters. Had the fucking Toy Story lunchbox. I was ready to fucking go. Little Gore Christ was. It even had the fucking thermos in it. Ready to go. Let's see. There's another Alicia Silverstone. She got a lot of work. The Babysitter, 95.
Never seen it.
I haven't either. Got Heavyweights. That was that.
Never seen it.
That movie with I think Ben Stiller's in it. It's like a kids in fat camp or whatever.
That's a wheelchair fucker movie.
It is a wheelchair fucker movie.
It really is. He has it on Blu-ray. It's annoying.
Babe, that fucking pig movie. That movie always kind of freaked me out.
I refuse to watch it.
It freaks me out.
Fun fact about that movie, that was directed by the fucking Mad Max creator, which is fucking stupid.
George Miller, yeah. You got Tu Wong Fu.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You can't put out Mad Max, but you can put out a stupid children's film about my fucking bacon sandwich.
I actually watched this recently. I hadn't seen it in a long time, and it's hilarious. You got Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. It's that fucking that drag queen.
Okay, hold on a second. Let's pause right there a second. I like Patrick Swayze. I like Wesley Snipes. There's somebody else that's in that.
John Leguizamo.
Yeah, I don't like him. And I got forced to watch that by my gay cousin at a theater. And that movie, now listen, that movie has this huge fan base, and I love Patrick Swayze, okay? One of my favorite actors. I just really liked him. I can't do that movie. Now, but for any of our gay listeners out there, and I'm being serious, actual homosexual listeners, I have something really cool to tell you. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Not into Tu Wong Fu, give me Priscilla, Queen of the Desert all day long.
Yeah.
That is a Dr. West approved movie. That movie kicks ass. You've got the dude from fucking Lord of the Rings and fucking V for Vendetta. Can't think of his name.
Oh,
Stamp.
Hang on, it's Hugo Weaving.
That is a fucking good movie.
Yeah.
Same thing, saw it with my gay cousin, loved that movie. Tu Wong Fu, you would think that I would. Leguizamo ruins it, just like he ruined Spawn. Thank you.
Yep, I agree with you there.
I don't like John Leguizamo in any fucking thing he's ever been in his life. I do not like that guy.
Okay, let's do some. Let's see what else we got here. I'm of course avoiding some big ones. I'm going to say.
You know, it's not a racist thing. I just don't like him.
Right. I mean, you know, he's just kind of annoying. Let's see. Jury Duty. That's fucking Pauly Shore. Jerky Boys, the movie. I love Jerky Boys. I grew up with those motherfuckers.
Let me tell you something. I used to sell in a record store their CDs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that you're from New York and you find that funny. You probably find that fucking hot pranksters thing on True Television funny too, or whatever the hell it's called.
No, I just liked that when I was younger.
But I do not understand What's funny about guys with a whoopee cushion walking into a store and then laughing with their New York accent? I just don't find it funny. But
well, Jerky Boy's mainly just prank phone calls and the radio thing.
That's great. I know. I get it. But I'm just saying, in general, just that humor, like outside of Andrew Dice Clay, I don't get it. But
yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, moving on.
Vampire in Brooklyn, Eddie Murphy.
Hate it.
Grumpier Old Man.
Never seen it.
Mallrats. Of course, that's a good one.
You know, here's the thing about Kevin Smith. That's easily my favorite thing he ever did.
Yeah, that's good.
But
it's got Buffalo Bill in it. And Stanley.
But a lot of his stuff, I like the second Clerks movie. I do not like the first Clerks film. I do not like Chasing Amy. I do not like
Jersey
most
Girl.
of his films. I just don't. Mallrats, I actually legitimately do like. Arrow's putting this really nice version of it out. I'm excited to get my hands on it. I really do like that film. But I think most of his stuff sucks.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Rob Zombie, except without a music career.
I can, yeah.
Seriously.
That's right.
And he has way too many, like, stand-up things of him in, like, fucking, like, buffalo pants talking to, that look like shorts, that he's sitting there talking about stuff for, like, 6 hours. He has way too many, like, stand-up appearance thingies that he's filmed. I'm just like, dude, are you know, for somebody that thinks you're gross, are you that vain that you have to film everything you do? I don't know. And we have kind of a backstory of this podcast with him in a weird way, that I you know, like, Comic Book Men is a pretty entertaining show, but it's not him that's entertaining. It's more like Walt and Brian, all the guys in the store, Ming and all them. And Brian. But I don't know, like, I like him, but I don't.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a love-hate thing.
No, seriously. It's not even that. I wouldn't even say that. It's like, I like him sometimes, but sometimes some of his stuff, like, you know, like I'm going to give you guys out there an example. Corey one time put on Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and you laughed through, like, the entire film, and I literally could have went to sleep.
Yeah. I can see that.
I don't think that movie's good.
It's not a good movie, it's just funny. You know, but it's
I
really...
I don't think it's funny. I don't like anything about it. Like, now, as I said, Mallrats is a relatable film to me.
Yeah.
Clerks 2 is a relatable film to me because they're, like, getting older and all this stuff, and they're having, like, crisis feelings, and one dude's getting married and leaving going to Florida. The whole thing, like, all of that is relatable. Those two movies are very relatable to me. But the rest of his stuff, it's like a bad buffet with, like, spoiled food on it for me. Seriously, like, I can't do it.
Yeah. That's good points, though, valid. Here's one I watched religiously, and the sequel. I don't know why, but I loved it when I was 5 years old. Was the Brady Bunch movie. Of course, it's not the original people. It's not, what's her name, Florence Henderson and those people. But you got Gary Cole as Mr. Brady, and Mrs. Brady was Shelley Long, which is awesome. I always loved that movie. I don't know why.
So here's the thing with that. I had never seen those until, like, they were out of the theater, okay?
Yeah.
They're okay, but I never really liked the old show either. But I did grow up with the old show, so the show looks weird to me.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with it, because I think it's kind of cool what they were doing, but I don't really like it.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But I don't have anything against it either.
Let's see.
It's like Harry Potter. I like the idea of Harry Potter, yet I've never seen any of it, and I won't.
Yeah.
Except I've actually seen the Brady Bunch stuff, and it was okay.
Right.
But I don't know.
You got 4 rooms.
Different about it's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And 4 Rooms is another one I watched a lot when I was younger. It's a few directors. It's like each one's directed by somebody else. Tarantino directs one.
Right.
Robert Rodriguez directs
it.
Yeah, or Tim Roth's a bellboy goes to 4 different rooms. Madonna's in it.
Yeah.
Bunch of cameos. Bruce Willis is in it.
Yep.
It's pretty funny. It's really weird most of the time. There's only a couple ones that are actually funny. It's just like the more I watched it when I got older, it's not as good as it was when I was younger. Just because it's just, I don't know, a lot of it's just kind of weird more than it is funny. You know, there's a lot of really hectic situations that happen, and it's just kind of stressful, more or less. But
I haven't seen that in years.
Let's see. Here's one I love, and you can find this on the Disney Plus app. It's a Goofy movie, which I fucking loved when I was little.
That is a pretty entertaining cartoon.
Here's another one. This is a super wubby for the Gore Crisis, Operation Dumbo Drop. Fucking love that movie.
Never seen it.
I think that's on the Disney app, if I'm not mistaken. Might be. It's Danny Glover and fucking Bill Murray's in it, and he doesn't have a big role in it, but he's in the film. It's awesome.
I've never seen that movie.
It's really good. It's just solid. It's good stuff. Let's see. I guess we can get to horror now. I've done enough. I know the ones I haven't, that I've left off that I'll say later as my favorites. Actually, I'll do these two. Or three. I'll do some of the big ones here. You got Braveheart.
I'm going to tell you a funny story about that film. To this day, I refuse to watch that film.
And you've never seen it?
I have no interest in seeing it because I'm not Scottish and I don't give a fuck about Scotland. I wouldn't watch that movie if you gave me a briefcase full of fucking money.
It's also like 4 hours long. Like no exaggeration.
I have zero interest in watching, and I thought it was even super lame on that Iron Maiden record where they did that whole fucking song about that stupid fucking movie. It's like, you guys are British. Why are you doing a fucking song about a bunch of fucking Scottish douchebags? If I want to watch a movie about a Scottishman that's actually interesting, I'll watch fucking Highlander.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't want to watch a movie. And the truth is, I've never really said this on this podcast, I don't like Mel Gibson. I tried to watch one of the Lethal Weapons movies recently. I don't like Danny Glover either. It's like the two of the worst actors that have no career now. No, seriously, and it was like crammed down my throat because everybody's like, oh man, fucking Lethal Weapons movies fucking awesome, blah, blah. They're really not that good.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch Beverly Hills Cop all day long
Oh,
than
yeah.
fucking stupid-ass Lethal Weapon crap. And I don't like Mel Gibson. I've never said that on this podcast. I honestly do not like him. I really don't. I just don't like him. And you should either. He hates Jews, so.
No, I definitely don't, but we're not going to get into that. GoldenEye. Overrated. Still good. I like the movie.
Let's talk about that one. I have never liked it. I like Sean Bean.
Yeah. Old Trev one.
Every other thing, and I don't have a problem with Famke Janssen, but everything that's about that movie makes me want to vomit. The only nice memory I have about that movie is I got jacked off by Holly in the theater during that film. That's it.
This dude just jacked his fucking thumb off.
As a Timothy Dalton fan of the Bond movies, and I realize I'm in the negative on that. Don't really like Pierce Brosnan, and didn't like anything really except Die Another Day. That's it. I don't like the other movies. I think they suck.
Yeah. My two.
I realize that you like some of his stuff. But when I was on that movie, I just like watching fucking paint dry, and the villain in that sucks. And that Tomorrow Never Dies thing, I just want to take that media mogul guy, which I guess is supposed to be Ted Turner, and just drown him. But,
that German dude?
Yeah, but I can't deal with the guy that plays Nightcrawler that's like, I ain't even Deucey. Like, there's so many bad things about GoldenEye that I can't look past it. It's bad.
Oh yeah, it is Nightcrawler. Boris Grushenko.
One more thing to go ahead and piss everybody off that listens to us, because I'm just being honest. I hated that fucking video game too.
See, I loved it, but that was just kind of a friend thing. But it's really hard to play now because it's so dated and bad. Like, it's not even fun anymore. Because you try to play it, and you're like, Jesus Christ, how the fuck did I even have fun with this game?
Well, it was very popular. I just never could get into it.
But moving on, we'll go to something Dr. West does like, and that is Showgirls, and it's by my favorite director, Paul Verhoeven.
I do like that movie, but I like it just because I'm a Saved by the Bell fan. It has nothing to do with any other reason.
Right. Well, I know that. And then,
Anything Vegas was awesome.
Yeah. Then we'll do the last two before the horror movies here, because there's not a lot. We'll do Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, which is the second one.
Never liked that movie.
The only part that I really like, but there's two scenes in that movie I really like. The one where they go to the mansion thing and they meet all the game hunter guys. And he's just fucking with all the party guests. The part's funny.
No, I love Jim Carrey. I don't hate the film, but I just never really didn't click with me like the first one did.
Right. There's an ad starting right now, so we got another ad.
Okay, hold on a second.
And it's like, we're here for you during COVID. Vanessa Hudgens is going to serve you fucking Taco Bell at your house.
But what I was going to tell you is, here's Jim Carrey's good stuff to me, and the one of these is going to surprise you, but I'm just being honest with you. So, I really like him in the second Kick-Ass movie.
Yeah.
I really like him in Cable Guy, the first Ace Ventura. Liar Liar is fantastic.
It's my favorite one.
But I've got to be honest with you. You know which one that I honestly love, and I think it's my favorite?
What's that?
This is weird, too. This is very weird to talk about this, but it's a movie that I saw at the theater with my cousin, and I revisited it recently because it was on, like, Freeform.
Mm-hmm.
I love Yes Man. That movie is fucking awesome.
It is really funny.
It's honestly probably the last good thing he did.
Yeah.
Is yours back on yet? You let me know because I don't want to keep talking.
Yeah, it's got a double ad. There's another one. Hang on. I think it's about done. They hurry up. It's like Neoplex and then Vanessa Hudgens
takes. Never seen Yes Man and you like old school Jim Carrey stuff, I think it's actually...
And here we go. It's back.
And if you watch it, and you'll never know Dr. Vincent West, but I will tell you this, I am Jim Carrey in that fucking movie.
Yeah. Now, one movie I did that...
It's so... He's just like... I love it. He's just like... He's looking at his phone, he's like, no means no.
I will say I watched that Sonic movie, and he was really good in that. It was actually good.
Is he great in it?
He is. It's great. It's old school.
But I'm just saying, like, his general attitude in general, the first half of the film, not the second half, is definitely not me.
Yeah.
But the first half of it's just me. There's people calling him, he's like, no means no.
Let's see.
The whole other thing where I fucking love where he's just like, look, I need to get out of here so I don't have to deal with Stefan. It's good. He's very entertaining in that movie.
Let's do a couple more here. Let's see. Got Rumble in the Bronx, and then this one. So I was taking karate at the time, so I was a little karate gore Christ. Said Three Ninjas Knuckle Up. I loved that fucking Three Ninjas trilogy when I was little. That was my shit.
I have never seen those.
They're really good. I don't know if you... I mean, obviously now it's a little kid movie. Yeah, it's just a little kid movie, so it's fun to watch for me. But let's do some horror. We'll knock these the fuck out. We got Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, one of the worst movies ever made. But I can still, oddly enough, watch that movie and be entertained and not hate it. When I first saw it, I didn't not like it because obviously I was, it was around the time. It had to have been like 96 because it wasn't long after it came out where I saw it on TV. So I had to have been like 6 years old. And I liked it.
I'll be honest with you about that one. I think it's better than 2. I think it's better than 3. And I think it's overlooked. I think it's actually really good.
I do too. I really like Viggo Mortensen's character, and I don't know, it's just different. I like it.
No, Viggo Mortensen is not in that movie.
Oh, that's the, he's in the third, is that the third one he's in?
Yeah, the third movie's a piece of shit.
Okay. This one is Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey.
But the third movie's a piece of shit. I like the one...
It's Matthew McConaughey, Renee Zellweger.
I like it.
Okay.
I've always liked it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that one's great. And it, I liked it when I was little. And
a lot of people don't like it, but I don't like...
Like I said, I think it's...
the second movie except for fucking Dennis Hopper. Like, the rest of that movie's a piece of shit.
Right.
And it's overrated. I'm sick of that movie. Yeah, that movie kind of sucks. Like, it's okay.
It's a dark comedy. It's not
really
like
entertaining in it, but the Leatherface in that movie sucks.
Yeah, it's bad.
Bill Johnson, that guy's a fucking douchebag too.
Yeah, it's just garbage.
I tried to get him on this podcast through Facebook, and he was a fucking asswipe. So fuck Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 up the ass. Like, that movie can fucking burn in hell. And honestly, the original's the best. Nothing touches the original. The original's one of the best horror movies ever fucking made.
Agree.
It will always be one of my favorites, top 10 for sure. But yeah, I think that that Texas movie from the 90s gets a bad rap, man. I think it's good.
Too.
I actually really like it.
Very overlooked. Let's see, Village of the Damned. We all know the story with that one.
Okay, here's the thing with that. That movie was supposed to be Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yep.
With John directing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not. And I've tried watching it recently. It has an amazing cast as Mark Hamill and Christopher Reeves. It's actually the last movie Christopher Reeves did before his accident with the horse.
Yeah, it's bad.
But honestly, I think that movie sucks.
Yeah, it's not really a go-to movie, really.
It's just like In the Mouth of Madness. Like, In the Mouth of Madness is kind of cool, but it kind of sucks to me.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of everybody on this bandwagon of picking through John's stuff, mainly The Thing, which is also an overrated piece of shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's an overrated piece of shit. I'm tired of everybody jerking off about that movie. It's a fucking remake of The Thing from Another World. Like, get over it. It's a fucking remake. So, yeah, Village of the Damned is a piece of shit. It's a fucking remake. I don't like it.
Well, here's a good one that speaking of getting overlooked, most people probably haven't even seen, but, you cut off after so many sequels. Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers with Paul Rudd. You got the Tommy Doyle character.
I really like that movie.
It's great.
People hate it. I really like it.
It's great.
It's part 6. It's actually, it's good.
It's good. A lot of people overlook it.
I want you to forget about it to go watch his remake fucking Footlongs, but, I actually like that movie. And here's the thing. I just want to say this real quick, because I've never said this on this podcast. Anthony Michael Hall is not Paul Rudd, and you making him Tommy Doyle does not stick with continuity. So you fucked up on that. That's a miss.
Yeah, they should have.
Commercial, by the way, so you may want to pause it.
Okay, they should have just waited on that.
Because if you were, I don't care if Paul Rudd's in the next Star Wars film. Like, I would have just waited till I could get him in my film.
Yeah, or just not even had the Tommy Doyle character.
Keep some kind of continuity, man. Come on, you got fucking. You're saying these movies have nothing to do with anything else, but you've got fucking what's her name in it. It's like
Jamie Lee Curtis, and even have Charles Cyphers and a bunch of other people.
Well, I mean, if you're going to do it, then keep the continuity with it, And honestly, after going to Horror Hound and seeing that fucking guy that played the Shape in that movie talk, I wanted to beat him with a bat.
Yeah.
What was it? Where did it wrap it doing? And you were like, he was like, he was doing something, and I kept making fun of him at the convention.
He was going,
Okay, you can unpause it.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking douchebag. He's also a shitty Michael Myers, and I got so sick of every jackass that I fucking ran into. It's like, man, fucking Nick Castle's in that whole movie. No, he is not. He's literally in like one scene.
In the car scene.
He's in that whole fucking thing. I'm like, he's like 90 years old. No, he is not in that fucking movie. And I don't like the whole podcaster thing and all that crap. I mean, I tried to go back and watch that recently. The only thing redeeming about that movie is the fucking score. But the rest of it, it's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, it's modern, you're only going to get so much out of that.
Everybody joked off about it, I did. And I was like, it was okay. $7 fucking dollar movie, I don't care. I gave them no money for that.
The Children of the Corn 3 Urban Harvest, I don't even know if I've seen that fucking thing.
Piece of shit.
It's another sequel. God damn it. Let's see. Is there anything else here? Leprechaun 3. That's a fun one.
It's good.
It is.
It's
the one.
On this movie for
I know. Well, you know, you have to.
I know. I've been cutting in, so.
I'm just gonna run through them. No more. We got this. These. It's the '90s. Most of them, you know, the '90s movies. Tales from the Hood, Evil Ed, the Ice Cream Man. That's the what's his name? Clint Howard. Continue. Darkman 2, The Return of Dr. West.
Okay.
Let's see. You got Species. That's just a good movie. It's just a softcore porn. Is all that is. Softcore porn. Demon Knight, which is one of the only good ones on this list. It is good. And then what's his name is very, very nice. Billy Zane, good guy. Candyman, Farewell to the Flesh, sucks. And my final film on this entire list that I was obsessed with when I was this age, and I still like to this day. Actually, there's two. Well, three. I'll mention another one. 7, Tank Girl, and Indian in the Cupboard. Forgot those. I had to mention those. And back to horror.
Tank Girl?
It's okay. No, that wasn't what I was talking about. The two movies. I was just found some other ones I forgot about. 12 Monkeys, which I really hated when I was younger. I don't know why I was afraid of it for some reason.
I'm actually proud to say that I have never and will never watch that movie. It's got Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt, and fucking Terry Gilliam directed it. I'm not watching it.
My top 2 favorite movies from this whole thing that I still watch and I love, some of my favorite childhood movies, Mortal Kombat and Batman Forever. It's my favorite Batman movie. And that wraps it up.
Alright, let's get to this shitty music list here.
Finally on the movies, it only took, music, it only took 30 minutes, but...
The Burnt Offerings thing from Ice Earth, it's okay. Let's see here. It's not death metal, I just thought I'd throw that out there. Draconian Times from Paradise Lost, probably their best album, I think. It's pretty solid. It was when they were actually still metal, and they're not this gothy doom crap, whatever they're trying to do. Masquerade Blood from Sodom.
Good one. It's underrated. Very underrated.
Faith from Cancer. Casket Garden from Dismember. Espatron from Septic Flesh. In Cold Darkness from Vital Remains. Haunted from 6 Feet Under.
Debut, baby.
Let's see here.
Love that album.
Battle from the North from Immortal, even though those guys won't do our podcast. Hate from Sinister. The Burning from The Crown. Black Force Domain from Crisian.
My favorite one from them.
Massive Killing Capacity from Dismember. Domination from Morbid Angel, just because of Eric Rutan.
It's my favorite Morbid Angel record.
Let's see here. The Angel in the Dark River, the best thing My Dying Bride ever did. Eternal from Malevolent Creation, actually a really underrated album. Actually, the album's heavy as fuck.
Fucking love it.
Let's see here. What we got here? Pierced from Within from Suffocation, Symbolic from Death, Once Upon the Cross from Deicide, and then the Profundius from Vader. And that's it. I'm done.
Some top tier shit.
Other stuff from that year there is, but I won't be mentioned on this list. Not on my list. That's it. That's the music, my man.
It's probably the quickest one you've ever done.
Yeah, there's the rest of the stuff on there is crap. I'm not mentioning it. The day that I mention anything positive about some of those bands that I just read on that list is the day that I set myself on fire.
Well, we're not doing that today.
No, we will not. I do not want to do that.
We got, I don't know if you're on the same part as I am, but we got Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton are having some kind of argument.
Yep.
And to catch you up to speed with the movie here that there's some blind, I guess their daughter's like some blind chick, and that Castle Freak's been running around trying to, I don't know what he's doing, but hanging out. He's been like running around pulling her hair and fucking picking her butt and all kinds of shit. It's just been not much going on here. There's some tension. They got a really nice place. I don't even know where the fuck that's at. I'm trying to see a filming location here where this was filmed at. Castle Freak film location. I hate finding this shit sometimes. It's like you try to look up film locations when you type in Google, and it's like Castle Freak Burger King. You're like, why is that a suggested thing? Let's see. It was shot in Italy at a castle owned by Charles Band, which Band had bought years earlier. Gordon had shot The Pit and the Pendulum in the same castle 4 years earlier.
It's a good movie.
According to John Fuller's story, filming was underway until July 94. Interesting.
Is Combs hanging out with a hooker?
I think so.
And there's a cop arresting him or something?
Not yet, he's drinking on where I'm at. Gordon stated that...
He's drinking, the cop's not arresting him, the cop's grabbing the hooker now.
Oh, I got an ad. Well, he just downed a fucking shot. That's on mine, Stuart. I think you're ahead of me by a little bit. I got an ad in 3, 2, 1. And there's an ad. Gordon stated the film was shot quickly, originally approached in January to direct. Gordon was shooting the film by June. Castle Freak was shot in Italy at a castle owned by Charles Band. July 7th, 1994, the crew were a day and a half behind on the shooting schedule. On July 8th, Charles Band arrived at the castle with his wife and father, stating that they were to finish filming by July 9th. Damn. So he just came in, he was like, y'all need to be out of here, my wife and family's here. It's kind of weird.
Well, you know, and the music list, the reason I kind of read, there's just not much on it. You know, you would think there would be more stuff, but there really wasn't.
There's really not, and you had good shit. You know, you got that Deicide record and fucking Crisian and that Vader record and stuff to really, in Suffocation to really carry that year anyway.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with them.
You had too much, and that Eternal record and Domination.
The Burnt Offering thing.
Yeah, all the stuff is really still completely relevant and just still good. So I mean, I'm back on here, and now here's the hooker. So I had some catch. Yeah, go ahead. You're ahead of me anyway. This hooker just came in on this scene. She's fucking smoking. She's smoking hot, but she's also smoking a cigarette. Yeah, he's just like, me and my wife just had an argument, so come on down, hooker. Let's get a drink.
You know, Jeff is in so much stuff, but he's still a B actor, you know, he's been in so many things, but he's really technically a B actor, and I can't remember what year it was, but I remember you inquired about him and they wanted like $5,000 for us to just talk to him on the phone.
Yeah, I don't know who that was. It was supposed to be his agent, but I feel like, I don't know if he's actually a dick or not. I don't know if his agent's like that. I mean, fuck. It's like, I'm not asking you to talk about Star Trek. I mean, I get that.
What was the exact amount they wanted for us to talk to him on the phone?
It was $1,000 for a phone interview.
That's insane.
It's like, is he gonna do a video call and he's like nude playing with his wiener? Like, I don't know. Like, what am I paying for here? I'm not. I think.
Now listen, I gotta be honest. If we got to film it like that amazing death metal fucking documentary that's being made, it's like, oh, did you guys go interview all these people we interviewed 4 years ago? That's fantastic. We had Jeff Hynes do a dildo show.
I'm gonna find it right now.
Top that, motherfuckers.
Yeah, top that. He just went full fucking goats.
You can have fucking George Fisher doing dildo show.
He just went full fucking goatsy and fucking sat on this huge black fucking dingus.
Listen. It's like, why don't you fucking pop that? We had fucking Jeffrey Combs fucking concrete dildo with no lube. You know, top that.
Let's see, here's the interview. It's from October 22nd, 2016. Hi, Mike, a.k.a. Cocksucker. I would love to set up a podcast interview with Mr. Combs very soon. I shouldn't even say Mr. Combs. I should have just said with Jeff, man. Just Mr. anything anymore. We are huge fans. We'd love to have him on. Provide links to our social media and streaming. So I don't think this old fart knew what a podcast was. This is what he sends me back. You ready? Hi, Corey. Are you offering payment for these services? Sent from my iPhone. I said I don't pay for audio interviews. And he said, hi, Corey. Jeff could give you a couple of hours for... Jeff could give you...
Are you watching fucking Jeff eat out this chick? Because I am.
No, I don't even know where we're at right now. Hang on. I see a chicken.
He's eating out that fucking hooker.
Hang on. Oh, yeah. I see. He's making out with her in the corner, I see. But...
Well, he's about to chow her fucking box.
Hang on, I'm reading this. Oh, yeah, she's fucking grabbing his fucking Peter. Here we go.
Here's me jacking off in the corner.
Yeah. It's the castle cuck. He's like... He's never seen this much.
Was eating her out. Did you not see it?
Not yet, it's coming. He's fucking...
Dude, he's straight up eating her out.
Wait, he's fucking titty sucking right now. He fucking... Okay, hang on, we got 52 minutes, 24 seconds, folks. We got Mr. Skinless here reporting on Castle Freak. You got fucking luscious titties here, and Jeffrey Combs is absolutely fucking eating that like a KFC buffet, her fucking tits, so... He's ready to go down to the fucking mashed potatoes and gravy right here. Let's see. Damn. Yeah, he's... Yeah, this is nice. This is good, Mr. This is good, Mr. Skinless. I mean, they're in like the fucking castle bowels, and he's in there fucking chowing down on some hooker cooter. Jesus. Yeah, he's fucking buried in it like he's fucking... He's like a fucking mole in there. Jesus Christ.
Your first fucking thing with the fucking
And there's the doctor over there like, yeah, I fucking get it. Oh, now he's just straight pumping her. He's fucking pumping her. The hooker's getting pumped in the fucking Charles Band Castle. The Full Moon Castle. She's getting...
He's just fucking drunk eating pussy.
This is probably the... Oh, he's one and done, too. He gave her like 4 pumps, and she's fucking out of here. Out of here!
This is... You know Jeff Combs and the ladies and gentlemen, the Corey Grow is Corey Combs. You're fucking chowing in that fucking...
That Italian hooker. I want to see him in a convention so bad. It's like, man, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna print out my own 8x10 when I see him at a convention. It's gonna be him from Castle Freak when he's eating that fucking hair pie. he's eating that fucking Olive Garden fucking tour to Italy. Here we go. Here.
I think we should. If we're paying you $1,000, I want to get back to this real quick. We're paying you $1,000. I want a fucking dildo show.
Well, yeah, $1,000. I want to see you actually eat some chick's pussy drunk.
We gotta run up everybody, so we gotta get a fucking Jeff Combs dildo.
No, it's like, man, hey guys, we saw this cool death metal fucking documentary streaming bullshit on Facebook, but you know what we did? We paid Jeffrey Combs $1,000 to eat this stripper out on our podcast.
And then we gave our fucking interested clientele dildo shit.
Well, here, let me get back to this email, because this is very real. Okay, so...
Real quick, I need to say something. Hold up, we go back to the email. I want to tell all our listeners out there, Real Surefucker will do a dildo show for you for $1.
He does. And he'll wear whatever mask you buy him if you get him a cat.
And I'll tell you something else. He also accepts Wendy's and Burger King coupons.
And Arby's.
Now, all these coupons, you get a fucking dildo show and a cum shot.
You get the fucking money shot. And he does wear the Catman nude mask. He actually wears a fucking furry cat mask.
You know, if you want a Catman nude dildo show, that you're going to have to actually send us a deposit.
That's a Texas.
Deposit.
That's a Texas Roadhouse. That's a $50 Texas Roadhouse gift card. You got to buy him some butter rolls if you want to see the Catman nude show. The fucking roadkill dinner.
And I tell you something else. If you want it, this is actually a very rare occasion, and normally I would not include him in this skit, but it's very important that we do. Also, another thing we do offer, we offer Waterworks from Killer Coach.
The Killer Coach Waterworks, yeah.
And what that is any lucky fan gets to fly into Florida, into Alabama, and he just fucking, when he gets down at the fucking bar, he just comes and hoses you down.
Or better yet, since he's Killer Coach, he actually, over time, being drunk every night, he fills up this, like, those fucking giant Gatorade, this Gatorade thing, and he gives you the fucking coach's celebration and just pours his fucking old stagnant piss all over you. But, back to the email, I said, we don't pay for interviews, and then he said, "Hi, Corey. Jeff can give you a couple of hours for the interview. He customarily receives $1,000. Please let me know if I could be of further service."
That's crazy, man. $1,000.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, I was like, so just a 40-minute plus phone call interview requires $1,000. Hopefully we can arrange something more reasonable. Hi, Corey. This is what Jeff customarily receives for a couple of hours. Feel free to present an amount you think is reasonable for this shorter amount of time. So I have respect.
I'll tell you what. We're sending Jeff a fucking Happy Meal. And some fucking Eros lube, that German lube. And he can give us a fucking dildo show.
And I said,
so we can run up these pieces of shit at decibel that fucking thanks to fucking goddamn Steven Spielberg.
So this is all I replied. I said, we work for free and do what we do as fans for fans. Thank you very much. Like, I don't care, dude. It's like, no one's getting $1,000 from me anyway, but especially not for an interview. That ain't happening. But a dildo show.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen, Corey Grillcross only gives $1,000 to Ryan assholes for fucking shitbox cars.
Yeah, now if you want to fix my car for a day.
Stadium and fucking opening day. He'd rather fucking spend it on a fucking rag fucking turd.
Oh, what? I couldn't hear you.
I go, you don't want to spend your fucking $1,000 to be a fucking city field to see your fucking boys with ass. You fucking have to spend it on some fucking old wood-smelling turd.
Yeah.
I swear I thought we were going to get attacked by hornets. It's like, oh, by the way, guys, my grandpa collects hornets.
Yeah, I've had a car trouble for a long time, and, it's like, if you want to rig up my car for a day so it looks like it works, just pay me $1,000.
Oh, I was talking about that shitty acoustic fucking No Charlie's performer.
The what?
The fucking No Charlie's performer where you got the goddamn...
Oh, yeah. The guy that farts in a mic at Barley's.
If you want, you can come down and see me at No Charlie's at 5 o'clock on Tuesday.
What is this chick? Is this Castle Freak? Is this chick getting eaten out by the Castle Freak guy now? He's trying to give her some wine. He's like, here, you definitely need to be drunk to touch my wee-wee. Oh, damn. Yeah, that's very interesting, but yeah, $1,000 you can fucking eat my shit. It's like, actually, I'll pay you $1,000 if you on screen eat my poo.
Well, here's the thing. I'm getting back to business at hand. I would message that guy right now and just say, if I was the one talking to him, and it would say, sent from my piece of shit LG.
I should have messaged him right now and be like, hey, wanted to re-inquire about getting Jeffrey Combs on. Will he accept the $1,000 consent? I'm getting my Trump check again, another Trump check. So would he accept $1,000 to do a dildo show? Yeah, for a dildo show. Like, what does this entail? Because he'd probably be humorous. He's like, what does it entail exactly? It's like, well, he just takes different... He just takes different variations and colors and sizes of dildos and sits on them. We also have a giant, pustulent, infected, red, like just sore, bulbous, Stuart Gordon, Brian Usna style dildo he can sit on too.
Yeah, and the main thing, this is the most important thing. While he's doing this, I want him to wear on his head, because this is important. This is an important part of the sale. Is he has to wear a Washington football team helmet. And you know what their logo is? It's fucking spray painted fucking Washington Monuments on it.
Here's the other good one. We're gonna also shoot a separate video that people have to pay for separately, and it's called Reanalator.
Well, listen, if you guys are interested in this, we're dropping $1,000 on this. The second half of the video is also another Jeff Combs favorite, one of my favorites, but this is with an all-new twist. It's From the Gape.
From the Gape.
And that'll be Jeff's ass after he sits, after he's dressed as Donald Trump. He's sitting on a fucking White House dildo. God. And then for the Star Trek fans up there, we will also have a Wayne Jerk show.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on a commercial.
Alright. It is paused. But yeah, I've never, to this day, have anyone say they needed money for a podcast. I don't think he knew what it meant. I think he was like, we're not doing like a video documentary, and even if so, we know not who to ask to do an interview. So it's like, fucking $1,000. It's like, Jesus Christ. We only put a down payment on a car to talk to Jeffrey Combs. It's amazing.
Well, listen, though, but let's get back to this. So, and it's going to say sent from my LG prepaid phone. the message, okay? It's like, this is Dr. West, and my co-host had talked to you several years ago, before my life went in the toilet. And now that I'm reawakening my senses, I just wanted to say, okay, I'm positive.
All right.
I just wanted to let you know that we would be happy to pay Jeff $1,000 for a 2-hour fucking dildo show. And, we got to do Beyond Reanalator or whatever. And one of my personal favorites, and this is one a lot of people. I've had a lot of people ask about this one. If we would do this, if we would get funding for the dildo show, and we're probably going to do. Trying to think, what's a fun play on that?
No, there's another one. It's a really good another porn we're gonna do. There's Reanalator, and there's also From Behind. Yeah, From the Gape, From Behind. That's another one. Instead of Dagon, it's just dildo. It's just, it's just and a dildo.
Alright, that one works.
Shit, I don't know. You have to really think of some anal puns here for.
Yeah, that's what I was working on.
Been prepared for it, but you know, you get the $1,000 Jeffrey Combs dildo show. You never know what to expect.
Well, and here's the other thing: if you guys are really interested in this, you can go to our GoFundMe, JeffCombsDildoShow.com.
How about Deep Gape 9?
Yep, Deep Gape 9 is a good one. But what he's going to do, especially for everybody out there, you know, he wants everybody, you know, to be excited about his dildo show, but, you know, for $1,000, you're all going to get the fucking prolapse money shot at the end.
He's going to pull it out like a fucking gym sock. You're going to see a couple of fucking nickels fall out of that thing.
You know what that means when they prolapse, right?
Yeah, they pull the fucking anus completely outward. It's like inside out. Inside out anus. It's just fucking, you get to fucking touch a sphincter.
By the way,
oh, shit. Yeah, now the fucking Castle Freak's totally getting some. He's fucking chowing down.
This is very important, but,
yeah, the Castle Freak was actually eating her vag, like just eating it, like devouring it, like it's done.
Corey and I were both in a New York grindcore band called Prolapse Fire Hydrant.
Hell yeah.
This was years ago, but Corey was only 12, and he was our vocalist. I picked him up from school, and we formed Prolapse Fire Hydrant in New York. So.
The Castle Freak ate the hooker's tits off. That's pretty.
Yes,
that's pretty fucking brutal, actually. It's that she's still basically alive, and he ate her out and did everything. He watched what Jeff Combs did, and then he did it, but ate her. It's pretty crazy. Oh, that's fucking pretty sadistic, actually. Damn, he gets the fucking pole in the back of the head.
This is sent from my LG prepaid phone, okay?
Yeah.
Dear Vincent, would you also like Jeff with his legs over his head and do a money shot in his own face? Slip from my iPhone. Okay, so I'm going to put absolutely for $1,000. I think we deserve all the money, you know?
Yeah.
But now listen to another thing. You've got a lot of bands right now, ladies and gentlemen. You got a lot of folks out there, and these bands are doing these virtual tours. We're giving you a Jeff Combs dildo show.
Yeah, that's way better.
I mean, it is. And he's going to come on his own face.
You know, we usually call episodes like Castle Freak with Sean from Ingested. I think this one's just going to be called the Jeff Combs Dildo Show. That's it. I'm serious. Jeff Combs Dildo Show. And I'm sorry, Sean, you know, hopefully you enjoy this.
A lot of people don't know what they're in for with that, but the reality is, that matter is not safe, and I can assure you folks, this podcast is not safe with our filthy mouths.
You know what? This is a new thing now. We're gonna actually make like if I ever had T-shirt designs or anything before, the first thing I'm ever gonna do is just the Jeff Combs Dildo Show. It's gonna be I'm gonna make this a fucking staple of our podcast. Introducing the Jeff Combs Dildo Show, sponsored by Gillette Razors.
Here's the thing. Nothing gets me better mood than my amazing co-host. We fucking make each other laugh. And I can start out sour, man. I just do it my moment where I start acting crazy, and that's when this shit gets fun.
Happy to be here, sir.
But, you know, and it's truth, though. But for $1,000, you know, I mean, and that's hard-earned money, you know. I was talking to Corey recently. He's just like, you know, do I want a car? Should we get you a car? Because I don't have a car. Or should we have Jeff do a dildo show? And I was like, let's have Jeff do the dildo show. In just one of the shows we're going to have him do, he's just in the Reanimator apron. And he's going to hike that apron up and give you guys a show.
And the other one, he's got that fucking...
And we're going out on this, too, because we don't know, you know, I don't know how Jeff is. How old is Jeff?
Give me a second. Let me look it up here.
We don't want some lit dick fucking Jeff, so we're going to have him all vibrated up. He's going to be fucking hard.
He's going to have that fucking... he's going to be like a Chevy, who's fucking like a rock.
Like a rock.
Oh, like a rock. Yeah, he's 65. So, yeah, he's got to get that fucking... that cock hard. He's going to have to take the pill. He's going to have to take... he's going to have to take the pill.
He's going to have that little blue pill. He's going to have the Viagra wager.
Yeah. He's going to have that...
He's going to be sticking out of that coat.
He's going to have a fucking bull dick.
Right? And, you know...
the old bull.
just to make this show more interesting, too, and this is bonus. Okay, look, a lot of people out there pay for UFC pay-per-view, okay?
Yeah.
Our Jeff Clinton's Dildo show, the prelims, like, in other words,
the weigh-ins and all that.
This is going to be the most amazing thing ever. We're going to have some of the most sexy, trashy strippers we can find, and we're going to piss all over a wheelchair fucker. We're going to piss all over his hair, all over his face, and everything else. And that's our warm-up show. Okay? And then, if that's not enough, we're going to have the main event. This amazing wrestler friend of mine, and he's going to be facing the Grim Grocer.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
And that match, here's the fun thing about that match. That entire match, this has never been done that I'm aware of. That entire match, we're going to be literally fighting in Alpo.
Like the dog food?
Correct.
Jesus.
I mean the wet Alpo. I'm not talking dry Alpo, wet Alpo.
You're getting like the fucking cayenne pepper Alpo.
It is literally called the wet Alpo death match.
Hell yeah. And they're nude. Except for little trunks.
Well, yeah, we're going with like bikini briefs on them.
Yeah.
If that's not enough, kids, if that's not enough, this is where this whole thing just goes completely and totally over the top. I will hold a best female prolapsed anus contest while I'm dressed as Binky the Clown from Garfield.
Oh.
Ryle, I'm not done yet. Ryle clearly rides around us in a circle on a unicycle.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Ghostbuster, Proton Papanal. Can he stay on the unicycle, or do you want to see the prolapsed female buttholes? Totally up to you. Then, as the clock strikes 12:01, 2 minutes to midnight from Iron Maiden might be playing if we don't get sued. Then, Jeff Combs Dildo Show kicks in.
Now the whole thing is called Jeff Combs Dildo Show.
Just so you're not confused sexually watching this, I will have my prolapse dancers out there, minus the prolapse, but they will be naked, running around with Roman candles, shooting them off while Jeff starts his show.
From their prolapsed anuses.
Nah, we're not going to do that because we'll have too many. Now, for the finale, when Jeff comes on his face, we can have a Roman candle up their ass.
Yeah, that'll work.
You know, I think that's fair. But, you know what, for $1,000, and again, this is sent from my LG prepaid phone. I told the guy, I go, look, I don't think that's going to be enough. I also think we need Jeff sitting on some Benoit balls. I think I want to see him with some like baseball-sized jellies going up in there.
And here's another one we're gonna see is we're gonna have Barbara Crampton. She's gonna be in her From Beyond attire, and she's she's gonna have a strap on. She's gonna be pegging Warwick Davis, dressed as a leprechaun.
Oh, doing that. Now listen, that's our, don't be confused with this crazy and little heavy stuff. This is not the same pay-per-view. This is going to be our fucking 2021 St. Patrick's Day pay-per-view.
Backlash. It's called In Your Ass.
But listen, the prelims on that show, this is huge. One time only, and this is for any Star Wars fans out there, wheelchair fucker will be dressed as Kylo Ren while women and men urinate on him.
Well, they pee on him.
Correct. You pee on me.
Yeah, put him on board.
Put up your penis and vaginas and urinate on me. If you're wondering where his red lightsaber is, we'll just let you figure that out.
Yep. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think this is,
there's some face gore.
Indeed.
Barbara Crampton's moving out. She's like, he's a fucking slut. Yeah, it's to catch up on the movie and not the dildo show, because we'll get back to that. Shit, I lost the doctor. His phone cuts in and out sometimes. So where I was getting at though in the movie, they found the dead hooker that the Castle Freak killed, and they blamed it on Jeffrey Combs' character, and Barbara Crampton's staying with somebody else, and yeah, so that's just in chaos right now. There he is, he's back. His phone took a shit, so.
Yes, it did. But don't worry, listen, this call is coming from my LG prepaid phone.
Sent from my prepaid.
Here's the other thing I wanted to tell everybody about. Very excited about this. This is another part that we're planning to do. This is probably going to be after the Jeff Combs dildo show.
Okay, this is like the post. It's like the after party.
This is something I'm very excited about. Corey is going to dress as Joe Bob Briggs while I ride a motorcycle over Jeff Combs dildoing himself. And I'm going to be dressed as Ghost Rider. That's what I'm Ghost Rider.
Danny West.
I'm going to launch the motorcycle over Jeff, dressed in his Reanimator fucking ride coat as he rides that dildo to town. And I'm going to launch over him.
No, he's fucking.
On the motorcycle dressed as Ghost Rider.
He's fucking. Jeff's like on his fucking back with his legs up. He's fucking crescent mooning while he's fucking pounding that dildo into himself. While trying to suck his own dick also. It's just like a double. It's just so much going on, and for $1,000.
For the first time ever, we'll use a southern accent and talk as if he's from Texas.
Yep.
As to homage one of our heroes, Joe Bob Briggs, which would never do this because it's way too offensive.
Yeah, just be like, there's Reanimator food, dildo food, prolapse food, Ghost Rider food, urination food. Yeah, facial pee foo, pegging foo, wheelchair fucker water sports foo.
Coach urinal foo.
What?
Coach urinal foo. Now listen, another prelim thing we're gonna have. Now this is something I've not cleared with him, but I think we're gonna be good on this. After the main event, Green Grocer fucking, this is gonna be an amazing thing. Because this is gonna be an on-location shot while we're going live with Jeff Combs Dildo Show 2020.
Or live with the Jeff Combs Dildo Show.
Green Grocer in main event, dressed in only their luchador mask, a cape, and some, really skimpy, scandi-clad underwear are going to go into a truck stop.
They're gonna suck someone off for some PCP. and have a back room.
You're going to fuck off a fucking trucker with some KFC.
They're gonna have the backwoods bathroom fucking truck stop brawl match. Oh fuck.
Listen, to send this thing completely over the top. And I want to confirm this because I just got off the phone with his agent before we started recording tonight.
Yeah, from your prepaid phone.
This entire filthy debacle will be literally your live streaming and at-home television viewing pleasure commentary track will be Jim Ross and Matt Vescursion.
Hell yeah. That'd be fucking crazy. Be like, alright, he's taking the dildo now. By God, that man is sick. What's he doing? It's a slobber knocker. And then he's like, oh, and he takes the dildo.
Just around 65, that 135 pounds, taking in that giant ass dildo, about 20 pounds.
Go back away from the phone a little bit, because you were starting to do the Charlie Brown. Oh, you're good. You're like, wah, wah, wah. But yeah,
I'm saying, he's going to be like, Jeff Combs, 165, taking that dildo, it's about 20 pounds.
He's about to prolapse his anus straight out. And now he's got another woman here. I guess that's the blind chick from the beginning. The castle cut.
I think it is. But my whole thing, just in general with this is like, if Phantasm's spending $1,000, you guys are going to get your money's worth.
Yep, and we're going to do a dildo show, Jeff Combs. I mean, that's what we're paying for. It's what you're going to have to see.
In our third world countries, it's just going to be Jeffrey Como dildo especial. So we're doing our best. We're trying to bring this to everybody. For our Canadian listeners, it's going to be Jeff Comes Dildo Show A. So, we're doing our best.
Sorry to piss real quick.
No, you're good, man. Let me tell you guys something out there listening right now. The Castle Freak, honestly, it kind of looks like Wheelchair Fucker after he's not slept.
Oh. It must be what I look like when I try to talk to women. They're just like, hey.
I know one thing, Castle Freak's got the tiniest ween I've ever seen.
He just likes to eating people. He's like, I'm lonely. Just slowly biting him, he's hungry, man. I don't think he's got anything but that fucking milk dish in the beginning. I'm pretty sure the cat drank it all. Hasn't fucking eaten in a goddamn month, so he's probably just, he's horny and fucking hungry, I can relate to that. Come on, Barbara Crampton. Yeah, there we go. Might as well just get all of that, get the kids out, let them play a little bit. This dude's just like a little horny cuck. Is all the castle. So just call it Castle Cuck.
Like watching a porno.
It is. He's like, where's Jeff Combs? I want to watch him eat pussy. Oof. I'm gonna save the blind chick. We're gonna eventually make the Jeff Combs Dildo Show the new Barnum and Bailey Circus and just have it a traveling show. We got, instead of elephants shitting on the floor, it's actually like people, and it's just gonna be weird. There's gonna be pee everywhere.
Well, we travel with the paramedic too, because Jeff's getting up there.
Yeah.
And look, if you guys want to talk to him for any amount of time less than 2 hours, it's $1,000.
But you can get him for 2 hours for $1,000, prolapsing his anus. Then by all means, we're going to do it for you. Phantasm is here for your entertainment.
We are. We're going to get our money's worth. We're going to get every penny worth.
Yep. Every dildo worth too. There's one after the other, like fucking popsicles. Just gonna be like, it's just gonna, At your request, we can also do some kind of like a telethon where people are donating themselves to like, we can donate to some kind of charity, and he can just, you guys can vote on which dildo you want to shove up his asshole next.
Well, another thing that we're going to be doing, because we want to take this as far as we possibly can. So on select nights, pending Jeff's manager's approval sent from his iPhone to my prepaid LG phone. This is key here. The very finale, because everybody loves an encore. The very end of the night, if we haven't entertained you enough, that's going to happen. Jeff is going to we're already going to have it inserted, his, what I like to call boa constrictor dildo. And then as he craps it out with Schools Out from Alice Cooper playing.
Oh man, I'm fucking done.
You're gonna get a new treat every night.
Yeah, it's just, you guys can vote on it. We'll have different things, and he'll even shove cumbersome objects up his ass, not even dildos. You can get cucumbers and bananas.
We'll take any free laxatives we can get for Jeff. We have to have him clean and ready for the show.
Yeah, and then sometimes we would like him to shit on the show. Like when he pulls out his prolapsed anus, we want to see some fucking, some fucking poo-poo, just to, for whoever that entertains. We want to cover all our ends here and not just leave out anybody. So there's definitely...
And I wanted to say this for a surprise for you guys, but only in select cities, only in select markets, we will have a special musician guest that will step over this podcast.
Yep.
And they're going to be different all over, because we've had several that have. And they're going to get to come out and actually fist Jeff Combs' prolapsed ass.
Or chew on it like like bubble gum.
Right, we have to get kinds of, because of the coronavirus, the consent and stuff. And don't worry, during the show, I promise you, we will make masks available. We've even made a mask for Jeff's asshole.
Yeah, but if some of the guests, depending on how shit.
Anybody getting a corona fart in the face.
How many? Well, some of them can get pink eye for all I care, but some of them, like especially the fucking Guar manager turd, he has to not only stare at that prolapsed anus, but he also has to eat that little chewy prolapse calamari of his and suck on it.
I've actually got something you're going to think's actually special for that. Because he's a very famous, tour manager.
We've
actually invited him because he's also a Star Wars fan. He's going to be joining Kylo Ren, a.k.a. Wheelchair Fucker, dressed as Darth Vader for the year-end show.
You got a corona fart to the face. This is some COVID beef.
Exactly.
Yeah, because right now we're just talking about the dildo show, being a virtual tour like, these other people are doing, and it's going to be fun. We haven't talked about monetary value yet, but like I said, there would be donations, and you are literally seeing among a bunch of our friends and other guests getting peed on, but you're also going to see Jeff Combs totally fucking prolapse his ass with a bunch of dildos.
Yep.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, though. He goes from B actor to B hole actor. Yeah, the reanulator. It's gonna be fun, guys.
Don't forget our Mars. It's some point during the set to Peter Jackson's The Gate Nurse.
Yeah. Which is actually funny, given the climax. He's like a germ freak in that movie, but it makes it even more funny.
It is.
And look, he comes to the rescue.
Except he's not going to be sitting on any seat cushion. He's just going to be sitting on a giant dick. Like I said, you know, we spend no expense here at Phantasm. If we're getting $1,000 for 2 hours, you guys will have, and I promise, up to the last second, you will have a 2-hour fucking dildo show.
Yep. We're getting our money's worth. Well, Jeff Combs is like beating the shit out of this dude, and then he just started getting whipped. He's like, the cuck prevails. I whip you while I watch you eat pussy. This movie's just strange, man. They're all just outside in the rain, like just for some reason. He's pretty fucking gnarly looking, I'll be honest. He's pretty cool looking, kind of. Just kind of like wheelchair fucker on a when he hasn't slept, you know. This is now he's got the. Now he's chaining this. Mind you, he's nude. He just fell off this fucking cliff, fucking nude, with his little castle wiener. That was a funny sight. It looked like they just threw a fucking mannequin off the fucking bridge. You just see his little fucking Vienna sausage flop around.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was little pigs in a blanket fucking hit the ground. It was pretty goddamn funny. Yep. It was a good sight. And Jeffrey Combs, if he's dead, I don't know. I don't see. Yeah, I guess he took one for the team there. Just like he's going to be taking one for the, you know, quite a bit for the team once we pay him $1,000.
Indeed.
And we also will do Facebook watch parties for it. You know, you'll have to pay to get in, and but it'll be worth it. And you can tag your parents in it and your pastors and whoever, and they can watch and tune in to the Jeff Combs Dildo Show.
I mean, it's a must-see pay-per-view. It's the first Phantasm pay-per-view we ever did. We ever thought, you know, damn near 5 years later we would be doing pay-per-views, but this is a big event.
And also, for you know, it's even bigger event, the fucking dildo that he's going to show up his ass.
It is.
But also, you can donate, depending on how much you donate. He will sign his used dildos, and you can, you know, purchase them based on your donations. And there's, you know, depending on the ones, and the bigger ones, smaller ones. But
I really want to also let everybody know that if this pay-per-view does well, the Jeff Combs Dildo Show, we are planning an event. And I'm very excited to tell you guys about this. And we're also looking for locations to shoot at. But what we're planning on doing, and this is a really big deal, okay? I had a friend of mine stole the monster truck grave digger. Okay? He was a professional thief. He stole it. I guess there's several of them. He had it hidden in a cave back in the show Airwolf at the helicopter. And what we're going to do, I'm very excited about this. Claire and I are going to dress as regular people and go into a sci-fi / comic book convention. And once... And this is something I'm very excited about. We're going to find a group of cosplayers, and Dr. Vincent West will literally, with Corey Goreclass by my side, we will drag Grave Digger over and try to hit as many cosplayers as we can.
Hell yeah.
From the convention.
Well, here's the other thing we can do is we're going to travel Jeff Combs around in the Grave Digger, and it's going to have a giant dildo on the front of it. It's called Gape Digger.
We're going to one of the Grave Digger replicas, and I will run over cosplayers for your pay-per-view viewing pleasure.
It'll be It'll be Gape Digger, and it'll be running over cosplayers at conventions with...
But, I mean, we will do that. Like, you know, I see somebody in cruising, but, man, I really hate that guy in that Captain America outfit, and I'm going to take him out with Grave Digger.
Yep. And it'll still be very nostalgic, and, you know...
We see another asshole, you know, dressed as Deadpool, and I'm going to fucking run him over with Grave Digger. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited about this pay-per-view, and it's called Cosplay Crush, coming from FANTASM Podcast. That's going to be summer 2021, pending the pandemic, and we're not all dead.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just some stuff to look forward to. The Jeff Combs Dildo Roadshow, we're very excited about that.
Yeah, it would be great to actually see...
All of those are going to have the wheelchair fucker urination party.
Yeah, it'll be really cool in person for you guys to see.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
Just imagine, not only just, you know, in the flesh, you're seeing... You know, Jeff Combs just lay there on his back with his fucking legs up, and he's just fucking pounding that fucking asshole with a dildo.
Like I said, you know, any lube, dildos, Viagra you can, you know, send in.
Yeah, we need supplies. We also want to make sure we're safe.
You know, we're also going to have paramedics and a chiropractor, you know.
And Dr. Fauci, too, so you can make sure the coronavirus is contained while we're doing this dildo show, because we want everyone to be safe. While he's prolapsing his ass, we want...
we're not trying to rip off Major League Baseball, but yes, to answer your question, Dr. Fauci will throw in the first fucking dildo. He's going to crash the first dildo up Jeff's ass.
But anyway, we'll do the final thoughts here on Castle Cuck here. Castle Freak. You know, I think we... You know, I'll let you go first on this one. What do you think of the film?
I actually think it's fun. I had a lot of fun. You know, it's very inspiring. It's inspired our pay-per-view. Which we haven't mentioned at all during this podcast.
No.
The Jeff Combs Dildo Show.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think it's fun. David Crampton's great. Jeff Combs is not just a professional fucking dildo taker. He's also a great actor.
He is. He's solid. And he beats the shit out of that fucking cuck. And then...
$1,000 sent from my LG prepaid phone. You can rent Jeff for 2 hours like we are. I mean, we're renting him for 2 hours a night for your all's pay-per-view viewing pleasure.
And it's a lot of pleasure going on, let me tell you guys. And girls.
There is, and you know, and look, Jeff is going to be wearing a mask. His asshole will be wearing a mask. You know.
Sometimes wheelchair fucker will be wearing a fart mask and be taking his COVID rips.
Even dressed as Johnny Blaze when I'm jumping over Jeff's gaping anus.
You seriously have a fart mask connected to his ass.
I have a mask over my mask.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's very important. And look, select cities, it's not going to be Johnny Blaze. I'm going to be Evil Knievel. It really just depends on what I'm feeling like that night when I jump Jeff's ass.
Yep.
You know, with my motorcycle. So it's really whatever we feel like doing. But I mean, for $1,000, I mean, as Agent said, anything we wanted for 2 hours, that's the kind of money he needed. So.
Yep. And you know,
I figured he was a $30 signer at a horror convention. I guess not. So.
Well, he's a $30 signer, but he's a $1,000 dildo taker. But yeah, about the film, I love the film.
I want to also, you know, if this is successful, you know, I can see us having our own sex chain, Gates R Us.
Yep.
And honestly, I think if we could do our own conventions, you know, I think we would call it Gate Goria. I heard they're out of business anyway, so we can use that. So Gate Goria, G-A-P-E, Goria.
We're also gonna have Gape of the Dead, or Days of the Gape.
Right.
Days of the Gape.
No, we want to use like a name brand thing that actually started, but we use Gate Goria.
That'll work.
Because it sounds like you too, because it's got the gore thing at the end. So.
Yeah. Well, either way, there's going to be gaping going on and prolapsed assholes and getting peed on. So, if you're into that, you're into horror movies.
Any kind of filthy, nasty, fisting sex we can entertain you with and make living a pleasure again for you, you know. And for those chronic masturbators, you're in for a show, you know.
Yeah, wheelchair fucker will public masturbate, so there's that too.
He will. He's going to fuck you. You know? So, he will wear a trench coat, and he will run around the crowd if we were doing this live, and he will tell you he's going to fuck you with his Danish fucking 12-inch.
But about the movie, final thoughts. I really enjoyed it. You know, it's Stuart Gordon. There's a lot of nasty shit in it. The gore.
Kind of slow, but it's fun.
Yeah, the gore is good. I like seeing Barbara Crampton and Jeffrey Combs on anything, really. I enjoy their presence. I think they're fun actors, and I like all their movies that they're in. And
they're great.
Yeah, they're good personalities in film, and they're great actors. So very comfortable. Just even though it was kind of slow, like just seeing them was great. And the gore is top notch when it's there, and it kind of picks up. Once it picks up, it kind of just keeps on trucking, you know. So once he starts getting, you know, fruitalicious with that hooker, I mean, it just goes from there, and the movie just takes off, and it's really fucking crazy from then on. So yeah, good watch, good Stuart Gordon movie. It's good Full Moon Pictures movie. I mean, it's one of the earlier ones, if I'm not mistaken. So it's one of like their babies, and it's a good Lovecraft story, and it's good stuff. I recommend it. For Charles Band, this is not one of the bad Charles Band treatment movies. This is actually a good one, so not counting.
And look, you know, we have our own Charles Band here at Phantasm. It's Corey Gape. And, you know...
Wheelchair Gaper.
But, you know, we do what we have to do, you know. And look, if I'm spending $1,000, you know...
Yeah.
We collectively are, you know, and again, and that's sent from my LG prepaid phone.
Right.
I don't want anybody to be confused by that, you know.
Yep, and it's going to be safe, and it's going to be, you know, we're going to do it virtual first.
And that guy will respond to you, you know, with sent back from my overpaid iPhone.
Now, I think we're giving him a solid fucking opportunity here to really just carry the rest of his career on.
He can restart his career, you know. He doesn't have to live off the Frighteners and fucking Star Trek anymore. And fucking
now he can live off of, you know, just pleasuring himself and, you know, others pleasuring themselves watching him pleasure himself. Or whatever you do. Maybe you just laugh at him and throw tomatoes. I don't know. But, you know, you can have fun with it. And really just, you know, we're going to test this out with the virtual market first and being in the climate of the world and try to make this as safe as possible. And then as the world hopefully gets better, you know, we can take him around and gape digger and fucking and really get this thing going and, you know, have some fun with it, you know. But, you know, it's not for the faint of heart.
We have a lot of people out there that you know, want to see a lot of stuff. And I realized this was kind of a thing that I've seen in porn, you know, that I thought, you know, for Halloween, we're probably going to end the show like this, and this is something that I just came up with, everybody. I'm going to dress as Sammy Kerr from Trick or Treat
with the wig on,
ride my motorcycle over Jeff Combs while he literally is farting out fake blood out of his asshole. While he's spraying the crowd in their face. Of course, everybody would be required to wear masks and gloves. We don't want you to get anything out of Jeff's ass except the blood. But he will spray fake blood out of his asshole like a cannon as I fucking launch over him as Sammy Kerr while we listen to fucking Get You After Midnight from Fastway. So, you know, our podcast is unique, and we do fun things, and pay-per-view. That pay-per-view is going to be great, too, because since it's Halloween, our commentary is going to be Corey again dressed as Joe Bob Briggs with special guest Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep. He's going to be like,
the sickest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life.
He's sitting over there spraying fake blood out of his ass. Give me a hell yeah.
another builder on his ass. Give me a hell yeah.
And actually, the whole time while he's spraying his ass, they're just playing the Stone Cold theme song while he's fucking spraying into the crowd. It's like dun 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 dun. He's just spraying fucking fake blood out of his ass. He's like, man, I saw the other day, Phantasm guy's crazy. He's over there prolapsing his anus. He stomped a mud hole and watched it dry. Jeff Combs 316 says, I just gaped your ass. And with that, I think we'll end it there. We thank you guys for listening and, you know, handling the COVID thing. Hopefully,
Sorry about this, buddy. This is Phantasm.
Sean, we love you, and thank you for doing the interview. And
You guys for rare and hear the interview. The album comes out August
14th on Unique Leader Records, Where Only Gods May Tread by Ingested. They got a couple videos online now, and they're fucking disgusting as this movie and our mouths are. So, if it does have a correlation there, because Ingested's fucking sick. We love you guys, and you know, we look forward to the album coming out.
Jeff Combs too.
Yeah, Jeff Combs is great. It's just
we're getting a fucking dildo show, man.
So thank you guys so much for listening and sticking around, and be sure to pass this around and be on the lookout for the Jeff Combs Dildo Show. It's coming to a virtual virtual theater near you. As always, from the Doctor and I, your Phantasm, stay fucking gory and horny.
Dr. Vincent West, medical doctor with the Phantasm Podcast, and I have the pleasure of speaking with one of the members of one of my favorite bands. We have Sean from Ingested here today, man. How are you doing?
How you doing, buddy? Good to be on the podcast.
Thank you so much for doing this. And you guys have a new album coming out called Where Only Gods May Tread, and that comes out August 14th. Via Unique Leader Records, and we're going to jump in track by track of that album today with you. And let's see what we got here.
Let's do it.
Alrighty. And then the first track of the album is Follow the Deceiver.
That is the one. That's the first track. Yeah. I mean, if you want to know lyrical content and stuff, I'm going to be it's going to be hard for me to delve too into it, because obviously that's Jason's bag and Sam.
Oh, no, just music. You want to talk about some of the musical arrangements each track, that'd be awesome. Anything you want to add to each track?
Yeah, well, we always like to start the albums with, you know, something that's catchy and kind of groovy at the same time. We often end up having an opening track that never kind of features as a single. We've done that a few times now, just kind of seeing the way it goes, but yeah, it comes in pretty groovy and pretty hard, just like Sovereign did on the previous album.
Right.
It has everything you expect. be quite honest. It's what you want from an album opener, if you will.
Excellent. And let's see here, track 2, No Half Measures.
Yeah, that one we just dropped this week. Yeah, last Thursday we dropped it.
I actually have heard that one. Yeah, that's killer.
Yeah, we decided to get some 8 strings for the album, so that is one of the songs that has an 8 string on it. So just mixing it up slightly. I'm not sure if anyone noticed, but we're just trying to, more tools for the trade, if you will. More
weapons, yeah, absolutely. And then track 3, Impending Dominance.
Obviously, our first single from the album.
That one I've heard as well.
That seemed like the perfect way to go for a first release. It's got everything everyone expected, and that little kind of melodic, soft kind of part in the middle, just to spice things up a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, it's the 2 tracks I've heard, man. It's really, it's pretty brutal. Like I didn't know what to expect with the new album, and so it's definitely a pleasant. It's great. And then let's see.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, of course. Track 4, The List.
Yeah, we bring it down a little bit at this point. The List is it's quite a mid-tempo song. Again, it's another 8-string track. Just a little something different. We're talking about releasing that one before the album comes out, but we'll see. We'll see how we get on with that.
Excellent.
Obviously, COVID's kind of ruined the entire timeline of how we wanted to do this album in terms of promotion and stuff. So we're kind of like reassessing, rejigging, changing things up, trying to get content out, enough content on the lead up, I guess.
Excellent.
Just to keep things, keep it in people's minds. Everyone knows the album's coming out, so we're trying to give stuff, every few weeks until August 14th.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's excited to get that. And then track 5, The Burden of Our Failures.
That one has Vincent Bennett from the Acacia Strain.
Excellent.
That one, again, is kind of... We slow it down with track 4 for The List, and that kind of follows on with it, kind of keeping that sort of tempo and feel. We like to have, peaks and valleys in the album, and, just a kind of a journey, if you will. I know it sounds a little cliche, but we like to sequence the album in a way where, it's not just, straight into a brick wall for 40 minutes. We like to kind of have certain elements and feelings through the album, so that's kind of where at that point where it slows down a little bit. But yeah, it's cool, man.
Excellent. And then real quick before we continue on with the record, I love the cover art. If you could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, man. Anyone who likes death metal and metal in general should know who Dan Seagrave is. He's done some of the most famous kind of artworks from Morbid Angel to Suffocation, that kind of vibe. So it just felt like it was time to get someone of that caliber, to represent the album, and we made it work for it. To be fair, we wanted a light palette, like we have gone for. It's kind of like it's got almost like orangey browns and whites and blues. It's really quite light, something that's really contrasted him from things he'd done before. And even he said during the process that he was struggling a little bit because he was a little slightly out of his comfort zone, which we kind of thrive in that. We wanted to get the best out of him, but also push his limits a little bit. So he's getting a product to us that's kind of different from his usual catalogue. So
sure.
As far as the concept goes, Sam and Jay had the concept, and if I'm perfectly honest, I'm not quite sure what the concept is because I kind of zone out in my own world most of the time. But I think there's the main dude sat there, and then there's 3 others in the background. I think that represents each member of the band, and then there's, whatever else they decided to go as a theme.
It's one of the best covers I've seen in years. I actually didn't know it was Dan, so that's even cooler. But yeah, it looks really good. That's why I wanted to ask you about it. I thought it was very striking, so that's definitely cool.
Yeah, we'd seen a lot of bands have been going with a similar artist over the past couple of years, where they're all kind of using the same artist, and the artworks to us was starting to look kind of similar. And we thought, the only kind of band that has used Dan recently is Rivers of Nile, and we we thought, he's not really been utilised that much recently. So
right.
He might provide something different for people to see. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess did he do the last Rivers cover? Is that what he did?
I think he's done the last 3.
I guess he's done all of them. Yeah, we've had those cats on a couple times, and I don't think they remember mentioning that to me because I was like, "Wow, that's really cool," because his stuff's it's very specific. But yeah, I didn't know he had done the new album cover. It's really cool. I
didn't until I started doing my homework. I was like, "Oh shit, that's a Seagrave." No way. So yeah,
that's great.
The more you know.
Very cool. And then back to the record. Let's see. Dead Seraphic Forms. Am I saying that? Seraphic?
Well, Sam says it's Seraphic, so I'm going with Seraphic.
We will run with that.
I'm not even sure myself. We'll run with that. So yeah, that was our second single. That originally wasn't supposed to be a single, by the way. We had things timelined, but it ended up being the single that would suit the idea that we had for the video, because obviously we couldn't get together. Lynn's in Spain and the lockdown was in effect, so we physically couldn't get together to do a music video, so we decided to do the video that we did, where we had all our peers and friends from the music industry and some fans and stuff.
Excellent.
Just doing it for us, basically.
It's very cool. Yeah, and I heard that track as well. I guess I've heard more of the record than I thought I had, but so that's good. But yeah, that was a killer track. And yet, just briefly, the whole, I guess we're just the embarrassment of the entire planet, right? In the United States, it's like people just, when they told us to stay home, I've been at home. I have a drug that I have to take called Dupixent. It lowers my immune system, and I lost my job over it, so it's like I've had to be real careful, because people around here are not. There were people, people that just don't care. It's like, what are you doing? Have all these people over your house? It's just it's just stupid, but it's
just arrogance.
It is, and it's terrifying for me because it's like, am I going to die when I go to the grocery store? But I don't know. I guess it's
exactly
the new norm.
I managed to I managed to get my job back because obviously we've been doing the band full time for 2 years, and I just kind of had my job on a career break, but it ran out on the last tour we did, and the lockdown kicked in, and I was like, we're making any money, so I got my job back. So I've had to work because I'm a postman. I deliver mail, so
right on.
I'm out with out about with the people and stuff, and it's kind of worrying for me as well because at the time, obviously, I've had my twins now, but my girlfriend was heavily pregnant at the time, and they weren't really sure what effect it could have on unborn. High risk for that, so pretty sketchy for the past month, but
well, absolutely.
All good, and
you don't want anything happening to your family, so that's scary. But
yeah, so no one in my immediate family has got it so far, so hopefully it stays that way.
Yes, sir. It's scary. Like I said, people over here, I don't know what the hell's going on. Everything just seems like it's going to hell in a handbasket, and people are pissed off. I was at the store the other day.
It's all coming at once, though.
Oh yeah, it's
everything's coming at once. It's just insane. It's COVID, then it's the Black Lives Matter thing, and it's
dude, it's just fucking.
It's everywhere.
It's and then people are trying to ban all these old TV shows that aren't even racist, and it's just a fucking mess, man. It's just I'll be honest with you, with having PTSD, I can't even watch the news.
I never watch the news.
It gives me I have anxiety problems anyway, and I know that sounds dumb, but I really do, and it's just...
No, it doesn't at all.
If you watch that stuff, it just triggers everything. It's just a mess, so I just try to...
Absolutely. I totally get that. So one of the reasons why I don't watch it, because, I don't have anything severe in terms of anxiety and panic attacks, but they do happen for me every now and then, and it's like, I don't need anything to, even remotely trigger something that might... send me off the edge.
Right, exactly.
But, exactly. So let's, there's just no need. That's another thing to just send you under a little bit, I guess. So,
exactly.
No, just horror films for me, and music. I'll stay with that for now instead of watching the fucking news.
We gotta dive into some horror stuff here when I finish the record with you. We'll have to talk. We're big horror fans here at Phantasm, so we can talk about that in a sec. But let's see. So track 7, Another Breath.
Yeah, that one has Kirk from Crowbar and down on it, so
awesome.
I think people can already imagine that it's going to be kind of a different track for us, but we're really, really excited to be able to hear that one, just because it just shows a bit of depth in the band and, you know, things that we can do. And again, that's another 8-string track, so we're excited for that one.
Excellent. And then Black Pill, track 8?
Yeah, that one has Matt from Kublai Khan on it. We figured it's kind of got like it's pretty groovy. It's maybe even some of the riffs are slightly hardcore tinged, if you will. Do you know what I mean? It's not strictly death metal track, but it's got all the kind of things that we do regularly. But we thought Matt's voice would be a good addition to it, just because Matt's got such a different voice from anything that you would hear from an Ingested track. And I think it's a nice little contrast between him and Jay, and he complements the riffs perfectly on it. So, yeah, people should look forward to that one when the album drops.
Excellent. And then track 9, Forsaken in Desolation.
Yeah, again, between track 4 and track 5 takes the pace down a little bit, and then you come back in with Dead Seraphic, and then again it pulls down again for track 7, and then track 8 and 9 are kind of like bringing the CD back up, if you will. So we started off with the Matt track, and then straight into Forsaken, and it keeps the pace up again. They're both, you know, pretty short but sweet bangers just before the end, I guess.
Fantastic. Yeah, I can't wait to check that out. And then, of course, the last track, Leap of the Faithless. Excuse me.
Yeah, if people know our catalogue, we always tend to throw something and that's either instrumental or just something epic, and this is the longest track we've ever done. I think it's over 9 minutes, maybe 9.5 minutes long.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, there's a lot going on in that one. It's an excellent epic closer to, you know, our best album, I would say. So
that's fantastic. And I wanted to ask you just as an interesting question. I noticed when I saw you guys, so do you all normally have a bassist, or is it always been strictly just 2 guitars, drums, and then vocals?
Brad quit last year.
Okay.
So he's been out of the band about a year at this point.
Sure.
And obviously we're all original members, so we're all the same people, and we just didn't think it was worth pulling someone else in. And obviously, like, the band size that we are, it's, you know, we're pretty small, and stuff costs a lot of money to do things, and having a member leave and then trying to figure out, you know, teach someone, and someone else is in there, you know, got to pay someone else, pay for visas, pay for flights. We thought, why bother at this stage of our career? You know, we're over 14 years in now. It just didn't feel right getting someone else. So,
gotcha.
You know, so we decided to just fucking start running bass tracks live instead, because we do click track anyway, so it's not skin off our nose. And besides, you know, some of the venues are small, and it's cool. I know it sounds a little strange, but it looks better as a 4-piece.
No. I mean, to be honest with you, I was very impressed. I was just curious about it because I'm newer to the band, and it was just interesting to me. You guys sounded killer. Like, I loved it. The set was great. I was just curious because that was something, you know, I just wanted to ask you about, because when I noticed, I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know if that was like a thing so.
It's the beauty of this day and age with the technology. We can afford to do that. But in terms of the album, though, we actually got a session bassist in, a good friend of ours called Dominic, who he's everywhere. He's filled in for Carnifex, he's filled in for Cryptopsy. He has been Iron Dissonance's latest bass players. I think they're still a band, I'm not even sure, but you know, he's in Iron Dissonance, and he was a guitar player for a band called The Last Felony.
Okay.
From Canada. If no one's heard that band, I strongly urge you to check out the album Too Many Humans. And yeah, he's a man of many talents, but he's a strange one, because we did the Despise Icon tour 2019, and that was one of the first tours that Brad wasn't with us, so we were already had the bass tracks going live at that point. And Dom's from Montreal, and he said, look, I've just bought this expensive bass just to fuck around with it. Like, sweet, can I do, I'll do some shows for you. We're like, okay, cool. So he showed up in Montreal with his nice Dingwall bass, learned all the set, we did practice with him. He just got on stage, nailed it, played the next show, nailed it, went home, and then said, well, I'll play bass on your album. And okay, cool, let's do it. So that was it. Dominic played bass on the album. It's the best bass tone we've ever had, and it was nice having someone, because usually me and Sam will write the bass more than Brad did, just to go with the riffs and stuff, where when you hand it off to someone else completely out of our circle, he was coming up with, some sweet little bits, sweet little lines and things that we hadn't thought of. So great, it was a great addition to the album, I think.
Yeah, I did, like I said, I thought it was really cool when I saw you, because I was like, wow, because it was super heavy, and I could hear it, but I was assuming it was a track, but I was like, that's really cool, because I didn't know, because the last time I had saw you guys, and I'm not sure, it could have been you, I'm not sure which member of the band it was, but I know Terrence grabbed one of you guys when I was interviewing him a few years ago when you guys were on the Summer Slaughter tour. And and he was like, oh, you need to talk about and it just we never got together that night, because I was like running around with my head cut off, because I never get to see him. But yeah, so I'd only seen you guys one other time, and the sets for stuff like that, they're quick and everything, and it's just like, damn it, like that was my only thing with Summer Slaughter. It's like they always have some cool bands sometimes, but you never get to see the ones you want to see enough, So, but no, you guys brought it down. I thought.
Masquerade.
What's that?
Was that the old Masquerade?
It was, yeah, it was, and actually, just to tell you which show that was specifically, Suffocation. Derek wasn't playing with Suffocation; they played without a bass player. I don't know if you remember that or not. This has been like, this was like 2016 or something.
The Masquerade, the last show of the tour. That was the end of the tour.
Was it? So I did not know that. I did not know that. Yeah, for whatever reason, I still don't know to this day why Derek wasn't playing with Suffocation or not, but he had some kind of family emergency or something, but...
See, the funny thing with that is Derek wasn't at the Canadian shows for the Spies I Can Talk, because he couldn't get into Canada, so I'm confusing two tours together why he wasn't with us with the tour. But I mean, yeah, I can't remember Derek. I don't remember Derek going off that tour, but I mean, it was 4 years ago.
Well, it was for whatever reason, he had some kind of family emergency or something.
Yeah.
And he just wasn't there that night, because I remember just thinking it was bizarre seeing them play without a bass player, but they pulled it off,
Heavy though,
they always bring it, so it's always great. But
they were really concerned when Derek couldn't get into Canada. They pulled up and said, "It's going to sound shit." I'm like, it's not, because you guys are heavy as fuck regardless, and it was tight, man. For some reason with Suffocation it doesn't seem to matter, because the guys are already so fucking heavy live that it wasn't much of a miss, but
right,
yeah, crazy, man.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, when you guys that was a hell of a package, man. You guys and Visceral Disgorge, and I can't remember who else was on that bill.
What, on the Summer Slaughter tour?
No. When I saw you guys earlier this year, I can't remember.
Oh yeah, it was us, Visceral, Last 10 Seconds of Life.
That's what it was. That Last 10 Seconds of Life band. Yeah, I remember that.
And Cabal from Denmark.
Yeah, so I got to. It was an interesting bill. Visceral, I love. I've seen them several times. Those guys are great. And then
heavy as fuck live, man.
Oh yeah. And then you guys. Oh man, it was great. It was killer. And to get to hear that record all the way through, I thought that was really cool, because I didn't realize that. Because again, I'm a newer fan to the band, so when I got there, I was like, oh cool, I get to hear this record all the way through. So that was really neat.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'll be honest, I'm glad that touring cycle is over for that, because that's not the easiest to do. But yeah, I'm glad we've done it. I'm glad people got a chance to see it, and plenty of tracks in that catalogue that we haven't played live before. So
oh, okay, well that's cool.
Do it.
So as far as like next year, are you guys just like, I guess, just waiting to see what happens with all this mess? And
yeah, I mean, we had a US tour booked for October time, and we think it's been rescheduled.
Okay.
So we're hoping to keep it as it is, and then it should be next year, the first couple of months of next year. We do have a European tour at the end of the year that we are hoping, by the time it turns up that we can do it, as a headliner for the album, because obviously it'll be the first opportunity we can get out and actually promote the album.
Well, if you're somewhere down south, If you're somewhere down south, we'll have to grab a beer together. It'd be fun to catch up with you.
I mean, the way we do the last 3 or 4 tours, US tours we've done, it's usually a similar route, and we always go through Atlanta. So
nice,
or at least Georgia in general. So I'll be surprised if we're not down that way, to be perfectly honest.
Well, excellent. We'll have to catch up and do kind of a tour recap with you. I'll catch up when you talk with you in person if that's cool.
Absolutely.
Bring the other guys on. We can sit and cut up a minute. But yeah, man,
without question,
absolutely loved it. I thought you guys were great, and the record, I can't wait to get my hands on it. And of course, folks,
thanks, man.
That comes out August 14th on Unique Leader Records. And but yeah, real quick before I let you go, if it's cool, I would love to talk with you about horror. I did not know you were a horror fan.
Let's do it.
So, talk a little. What was the first movie that you saw, maybe when you were younger or whatever, where you were like, "Oh, I love this"?
It probably won't be horror related, but some of the, like once my I found my love for Arnold Schwarzenegger films. They started letting me watch the more kind of violent ones, and it got Terminator 2 was kind of when I was a kid, and then you start getting the confidence to watch more. Luckily for me, my parents were cool, so they let me watch like Predator and stuff, and so those are kind of the earlier things that I liked. But I mean, most of my film taste is completely stuck in the 80s, man. It's just when I was a kid, those were the films, like Back to the Future, The Goonies.
I love all that stuff. Jones, I love all that stuff.
A lot of Star Wars stuff. Just so everything that I liked was just kind of trapped there, and then you just end up discovering horror. And I remember kind of like some of the first things I used to watch. I actually remember watching Halloween years and years ago with my mum, and it scared the pants off me. But from then I was just like, there's something about this, and as you were younger, you're curious, aren't you? You want to see what these films are. But yeah, I've had a love for horror for since I can remember, to be quite honest. But yeah, my main love, like I said, is just late 70s to like early 90s. That's kind of where my true love for horror lies, I guess.
Now, do you like slasher stuff, or do you like?
Yeah, I like a mix of everything, man.
Have you ever seen Maniac?
No, I haven't. It's on my radar.
Now the remake is a piece of garbage, but now the 1980 film is so good.
Yeah, what's his face? Who did it? The remake. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, the guy from the Lord of the Rings stuff.
Elijah Wood.
Yeah, it's just so weird. It's just not very good. It's just, but the original movie is one of my favorites. I highly recommend that.
Yeah, I've watched reviews and shit about. He scalps women, doesn't he? From what I understand.
Yeah, it's great. That movie, it's so just creepy but it's very violent, which is why I liked it. It was just remember it was like Tom Savini did the makeup for it. It's really cool.
Well, then you're in good hands then.
Oh yeah.
You're in good hands.
Have you ever seen The Prowler?
I was literally just about to mention The Prowler. Yes, I have seen it.
To me, that's one of the best slashers ever made. I love that movie.
It's excellent. It's excellent.
Super violent.
Yeah.
A lot of kills.
Yeah.
Tom Savini, of course, again. So yeah, it's.
Apparently, he was really late on the production. So God knows what you would have had if he hadn't turned up for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he always pulls it out the bag though. So as soon as his name's mentioned and it's like early 80s and shit, you're like, yeah, man. Like The Burning, because that's kind of like.
It's another good one, man. That's such a good movie. It's another underrated slasher. It's a good one. I like that one a lot. That one's a lot of fun to watch. For me as a kid, the first time I saw The Exorcist, I still can't watch The Exorcist by myself. It sounds stupid, but I just can't. My parents were like super religious, and I kind of bounced around from like foster home to foster home. I kind of rough childhood, but my family that I eventually ended up with, like, they were super religious. So watching that movie terrified me as a kid. I was just like, and I still can't, like I said, can't watch it. Like, I love it, but I've got to have friends over if I'm watching it, because it's just
it is excellent and so savage still, even from 1973. It's just, I don't even know how, it just holds up so well. It's just brutal, man. Just in the feeling and everything about it. But yeah, I mean, when I was, like I said, when I was a kid, my mum knew I was into horror, but that was one of the films she would not let me see for a long time. She was like, nope, I ain't watching that one. I'm like, I'll go on. So eventually I saw it, and I understood why it's an experience once you see that film, man.
I'll tell you something you guys should do, or you should do, if you get a chance. In Georgetown, where they shot that,
yep.
If you're touring through there, you can. The stairs have become like a monument.
I'd love to see them.
You go get your pictures on the stairs. It'd be a cool ingested photo, like all that.
Every time we do stuff, we'll get a tour lined up and we'll kind of look what we can go and see, and we kind of plan it. Oh, we should go and see this. Like for the last 4 times we've been to Seattle, we'll go and see Kurt Cobain's house. We just never do it. We just know the time just runs away, and you can't get up early enough. It's just the annoying part of touring where you plan to see stuff and you just never seem to do it. I mean, the only thing I saw on the last tour, and I went out on my own because I was like, fuck all else to do, and it's literally a 7-minute walk. I went and saw the Amityville Horror House on Long Island.
Really?
So, yeah, that was cool. That was cool to see that.
You know, I was talking when we first started this podcast, we were going to try to get the killer guy, because he's in prison in New York. We were going to try to actually get him on here and do like a phone interview with him.
No way.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Well, every time I've had it set up to do it, something happens with his lawyer where we can't end up doing it, because we've gotten cleared several times as media to interview that cat, and I've never got to go to the house. Now, my co-host is actually from Long Island, so he's been there. And of course, anytime I've talked about it with Terrence, he's just like, from Suffocation, he's like, yeah, you can go do that yourself. I'm not messing with that. So, but yeah, I mean, I bet that was cool getting to go see that. I've never got to do that.
Yeah, it was interesting. And then as soon as we started walking away from the house, some idiots in a van were shouting at us out the window. I'm not really sure what that was about, though.
That's weird. Yeah. I tell you, though, the stairs, man, if you guys are near where the stairs are at, like I said, I believe it's in Georgetown, if I'm not mistaken, so somewhere in that area. I'm not super specific on that, but wherever the stairs are for Exorcist, that'd be cool. I always wanted to do it. I've never got to do it. Because I was actually surprised, because, you know, so much stuff happened when they were making that film. All these, grips died, and, people were having accidents and all that, and I just remember just thinking that was crazy. And then when I met Linda Blair when I was really young at a Fangoria convention, I remember her telling us, she's just like, yeah, I don't really want to talk about that. And I was just like, yeah, that's terrifying. I'm just going to leave it alone. But yeah, I try to watch some newer stuff. I've watched, I guess it was that third Black Christmas remake, and I watched that Fantasy Island thing that Blumhouse did. I try to watch some newer stuff, but I'm like you. I'm stuck in the past on my horror stuff.
Yeah, some things do work for me. I mean, I know it's going back to 2013, but I really love the Evil Dead remake.
You know what, man? I had never seen that. And I watched it. I watched it. I had a couple of people recommend to me to watch it, and I watched it, and it was brutal. I couldn't believe how. But I'll tell you something funny. Where my dad used to live in Tennessee is where they shot the original Evil Dead, and when I was younger, I remember going up there, and I've still got a piece of wood from the house.
That is so cool.
And I
presume it's all fucked up now, derelict.
Oh yeah, there's hardly. Well, fans have literally came up there and taken every piece of it left. There's nothing left of it up there, but it's up in Tennessee, and it's crazy because when I met Bruce Campbell, years ago, this was years and years ago, I was telling him about it. He was just like, actually, that's really weird. And he actually signed the piece of wood. So I've got a piece of wood from the house signed by him. It's stupid.
That's pretty cool.
Stupid stuff that I don't even, and I wasn't even there when he signed it. My buddy took it and got it signed and all this. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, I like a lot. I'm a big Hammer fan. Are you a Hammer fan at all? Hammer horror?
Not massively. No, not massively. I'm sure there's a lot of titles, if I gave them a chance, that they'd probably do a lot for me, but I've just never visited them.
Anything with Peter Cushing is so good.
Yeah.
That stuff, I watched it as a kid.
I just like gore and special effects. So
Sure. Well, I tell you, one of my favorites. I don't know if it's one of yours. I loved Dead Alive, the Peter Jackson thing.
It's over. It's called Brain Dead over in Europe.
The lawnmower.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean, it's been years since I've seen that. But yeah, I used to have that on DVD.
That's a fun one. That's a fun one to watch. Yeah. That seems like an ingested movie. Because it's just anything splatter like that. I'll tell you something else. Did you ever see the movie Hardware?
No, what's that?
It's a Richard Stanley movie, and he has a new movie out, and it's called Color Out of Space with Nicolas Cage in it. You should check that out. It's really weird. It's like a Lovecraft thing. It's pretty wild.
I like Color Out of Space. It's one of my favourites of last year, that one.
Oh, so you did like? Oh, cool. Yeah, I just watched it. I had never seen it. Well, anyway, one of his earlier movies was a movie called Hardware. But yeah, Clive Barker discovered that guy. He's interesting. That Richard Stanley guy. He's some crazy stuff. But I like Dario Argento. I'm not super into the Italian stuff like my co-host is, but I like Dario Argento stuff.
Yeah, I like. I know he didn't direct, but I like Demons from '85.
That's a good movie, man. I'll tell you that's a good one.
Yeah. A couple of Fulcis, a couple of them are good, like Beyond, Zombie Flesh Eaters or whatever it's called in America. What do you call it? Is it just called Zombie in America?
It is, yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a good one. I tell you one. Well, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I remember when H&V and the music stores still sold VHS. I remember... Because there was a thing in the 80s in the UK where a lot of those kind of films were branded as video nasties.
Yep.
And I remember when I was in H&V when I was probably about 13, and it was just there on the shelf and it said previously banned since 1981 or something like that. And I went, right, gotta get it. And that's the first time I saw Zombie Flesh Eaters. And that scene where there's that bit of wood sticking out and she slowly gets her head pulled onto this. It's through her eyeball. I was like, whoa, okay, here we go.
Man, in Atlanta, where my mom's from, I remember being a teenager there, and they had an HMV in the mall, and man, I used to spend so much fucking money in that place.
Yeah.
So much money.
Absolutely.
So much money. I miss record stores, man. They are basically non-existent in America, period.
It's more mom and pop now, isn't it? There's no kind of chains anymore, really.
Correct, and then most of the stuff you're forced to get it off the internet and stuff. So it kind of takes the fun out of collecting, but I still collect. But it's it is what it is. It's pretty cool.
Well, that's the thing. Back in the day, the only kind of way I was able to search out films was to go to the shops and see it on the shelf. Whereas I could just fucking hit Google and go, "What's this? Who's done this?" You can go down the rabbit hole, but. It does take a bit of the excitement out of it, but then again, if you want something that's, kind of like that from the 80s, that it's not relatively well known, you're going to struggle to find it on Blu-ray anyway. So,
absolutely.
A lot of the things I have to get, Screen Factory are doing a shit ton of stuff that I can't watch because I've not got multi-region, and that's fucking frustrating. And then I'll see something else that it only exists in Germany for a region B, so I'm like, do I get the German release? Do I hope that Arrow Video somewhere down the line decide to release it? So I'm happy for those companies though, at least, that we're getting that kind of attention to these certain films. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like I wanted to buy Poltergeist 2 on Blu-ray, but it's kind of like the only one I can find is a completely stock standard release. There's nothing on it apart from Screen Factory,
right? And
that's where I start. It's just so annoying, like.
Well, yeah, man, if there's everything you want, I'm swimming in Scream Factory. See, I get jealous because you guys have all the cool Arrow stuff that they don't release over here.
Yeah, but you still get some releases from Arrow. We get nothing from Scream Factory. And it's wounded.
That's true. Man, Arrow's about to put out the 1980 Flash Gordon. I'm all about it. I know that's not a horror movie, but
okay, cool.
I'm all about them putting that out. They're putting that damn thing out in 4K, and I'm like absolutely buying that. But yeah, man, if there's any other... What you ought to do, I don't know. Well, I think there's something with the power source, but I don't know. I think you could just buy you can buy a Blu-ray player over here when you guys were touring, probably pretty cheap. And then you could watch all your Screen Factory stuff.
A good point. I've never thought of doing that. It sounds so obvious.
Because the Scream Factory said, if there's ever anything you want, man, I can get them for you and mail them to you, because I'm a big fan of their stuff. I buy the hell out of their stuff, so.
They've got so many good titles. Like, I saw them release an Event Horizon with some tasty stuff on it. I'm like, God.
Oh, yeah.
Why can't we get the same treatment, man? I mean, do you think they're going to find the footage, the lost footage? Is it going to finally come to light?
It'd be interesting to see if they... I remember I was a projectionist at a movie theater when I was growing up. I remember showing that damn thing at the theater, and I remember just going, God, I can't imagine there being more footage of that film.
They said there is an uncut version, but there's a weird kind of story about it. You like end up into like some weird fucking salt cave or something really random in some random country.
Oh,
I remember reading that somewhere, and I was like, what? And I'm sure, what's he called? He directs it. Thomas Wes Anderson is that his name?
I'll tell you something that Scream Factory put out that you would probably get a kick out of if you like the movie. Their version of Exorcist 3 has a completely different cut of the film.
I bought it. That is the first time I realised that I couldn't set my PS4 to it, because I kind of read that you could do that, like
change the region coding, yeah.
And then it locks it, and I was like, fuck, I've just spent, £25 on this Exorcist 3 Blu-ray that I can't fucking watch, so I've got it sat downstairs.
Dude, I'm telling you, when you get to see that, it's nuts. It's about probably 30 minutes shorter, but it's completely nuts, and Brad Dourif's in most of the film, where he's only in, like, pieces of it in the theatrical version of it.
I remember it. I do have a version of it, but it was on like a box set. I have no idea what version it is, but I've got a box set of it.
Oh, nice.
I know Arrow have released it for Region B, but I'm not sure how it matches the Scream Factory release. I'll have to have a look into that, because if it is the cut that you're telling me about, I'll have to just go and buy it anyway.
Well, I'll tell you, like I said, if there's anything ever you want, because Scream Factory does put out a lot of cool stuff. See, over here, it's them, Vinegar Syndrome, Severin.
Yeah.
And I think some of that stuff's it's unlocked. I think a lot of that stuff you could probably buy and it would play.
Sometimes.
I think the Severin and the Vinegar Syndrome stuff should be region free. Yeah. It should be.
Some of it is. I was looking at Vinegar Syndrome 2 days ago when I was just looking at a few of the titles, and they do have some that are region free, which is cool.
I know this isn't a horror movie, but they just put out Rad in 4K, and I bought that.
Is that that BMX film?
Yes, it's awesome.
I know very little about it, but I know of it.
It has never existed on Blu-ray, and the fact that they put it out on Blu-ray and 4K, because I don't have a 4K player yet, but I've been buying the 4K disc because I'm planning on buying a PS5, and
yeah.
So I've got the technology for it, I just haven't bought it, but I've been getting a lot. Like, I bought the original 3 Star Wars films in 4K. I found them really cheap at a store here in town, and just stuff like that. I'm just kind of hoarding this stuff. A lot of the Marvel stuff, because I'm a big comic book guy, and I've got a bunch of the Marvel movies in 4K, and I've been trying to kind of hoard a bunch of that stuff.
For me, over here, they do a lot of dual releases where they do the 4K and the Blu-ray, so it's like you may as well just do it, because you never know, at some point down the line you might
get them both.
4K capabilities. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I think, like I said, what I would do, hell, if you want, I could go to like a pawn shop and get you one for like $15, just get you an American Blu-ray player, you just take it home with you. The only thing I had read, and I don't know if this is even true or not, I've heard there's like power things, but I've also talked to people that have done what I'm talking about doing, like for you, and you just take it home and you're good. So
the thing is, you have lower power than we do, so if we plug something of ours into yours, I think it fucks it up.
Oh shit.
But if we plug American into ours, it's the other way around. I think if we plug American appliances into ours, because we run so hot, it will fry it. So I think you need some sort of step-down converter.
I wonder if we could find you like a, one that's based over there where you could find like a region-free player. That way you could watch the stuff.
Yeah. I briefly looked on like Amazon and shit, but they're all like £150. I'm like,
Oh, okay.
I mean, I want to watch the Exorcist 3, but not £150 worth of Exorcist 3, you know what I'm saying?
Right. But I mean, if there were enough titles out that you felt justified in doing it, I don't blame you. Because, see, I had the same thing happen to me. Because I bought that Arrow Dawn of the Dead thing that they did like 3 or 4 years ago, and it does not play. And I'm like, shit. And it's the coolest thing.
Yeah,
but and Shock Treatment, because I'm a big Rocky Horror fan, I bought Shock Treatment when they put that out. It will not play. It's region locked. It's cool. I've got this really nice like steel book of it, but the damn thing won't play.
Sometimes you get lucky though, man. I mean, I remember trying to find the Blob on Blu-ray, and the only release that I could find at the time was an Australian release from a company called Umbrella, and it was region free. It was region free. I was like, get in. So that was pretty cool.
I love that movie, man. I saw that movie at the theater. I remember I laid out of school that day, and a buddy of mine went and got really high and watched it, and I've loved it ever since. It's such a good movie.
I was so late to that film. So late. It's like, I'll watch films now that I'm like, why did I not see this like 20 years ago? Because it has so much more of a connection to it. But even they're still that good. Like The Blob, as soon as I seen it, straight into my top 10 of all time.
The creepy preacher at the end, and he's holding the little piece of the blob. Excellent. He's like, it's great. And even the music, that alien band, that like foreign like hair band, AOR band that did the soundtrack for it's great. I love it. It's so good. Like that movie, it's great. And I know they were talking for the longest time where Rob Zombie was supposed to like do a version of that movie. I'm like, no, do not do it. Please do not touch.
What could they do? What could they do?
You can't. Just leave it alone. That movie's perfect the way that it is. Just leave it alone, man. It doesn't need anything.
They kill a kid in the sewer. You ain't going to do that in this day and age. I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
You know what I mean?
I loved it. The whole thing where it's in the movie theater, I remember seeing that when I was in the theater, just thinking, God, this is the coolest thing in the world. But, you were talking about Goonies earlier.
Back to the 50s version.
You were talking about Goonies earlier. See, my retort to most Goonies fans is Monster Squad. I'm a huge Monster Squad.
As soon as you said that, I knew you were going to say Monster Squad.
I love it. I love that fucking movie.
Film I didn't see until the last few years.
Did you like it?
I just thought if I'd have seen... I love Monster Squad. It's great.
It's so good. I
wish I'd seen it back in the day.
There's a friend of mine. He has a horror shirt company over here. You should check it out. It's called Fright Rags out of New York. And
I occasionally buy from Fright Rags.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, Ben is a friend of ours, and I
bought recently.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he's got great stuff on there.
I picked up the Gate, and I picked up a Fog t-shirt recently. Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, you're fine. I got the Gate shirt too. That's why I was laughing. I bought it too.
The one with the pink logo.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so great. Had to get it. Had to be done.
Well, a few years ago, he did a Monster Squad line, and I got the Stephen King Rules shirt, the red shirt with from Monster Squad. I just thought that was awesome, but yeah.
I've seen a parody of that, and it's Tom Atkins Rules. I've seen that one.
I tell you, cool. We met him last year at a horror convention that we went to up in Ohio, and coolest motherfucker in the world, and he was...
I can only imagine it.
And we were sitting there, and he was my co-host. He was talking to him, and he's like, what did you want me to sign on this? And he's like, it's Corey. And he was like, Corey, I just want you to stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. And it was just like... Because I love Halloween 3, man. Everybody makes me eat crow on that movie. That movie's awesome.
It's great.
It's so good. It's such a great movie. Everybody shits on it, and I'm like, it's great.
I do wish it was just called Season of the Witch, though.
I think there would have been less confusion with it, yeah. I think it would have been a lot less... But, I mean, John Carpenter scored it, and I love John Carpenter stuff, man. Anything John did in, like, the 80s, and, I mean...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're talking about Scream Factory. I just picked up the steel book of Big Trouble in Little China. God, I love that.
Nice.
That movie is so fucking good, man.
That's great.
It is, and I love a lot of his stuff, but that one and Prince of Darkness and The Fog, those are kind of my go-to films. Like, all my friends are like, everyone I know when I interview them, they're like, oh, The Thing. And The Thing...
It is The Thing.
It's great, but it's like...
It's my favorite horror film.
It's great. It's a great movie, and Rob Bottin's makeup in it's great, but it's like, for me, it's like, my go-tos are like Big Trouble and Prince of Darkness and They Live, and, They Live to me is just brilliant.
He fucking nailed it in that decade, from like 78 to, when was Mouth of Madness, like 94? From that period of it was just...
And The Mouth of Madness is so good.
He just fucking nailed it, didn't he?
Well, I mean, that was, it's funny that you said that. I think that was probably the cutoff point for John. Like, if you go to In the Mouth of Madness backwards, everything is good, I even like the Village of the Damned thing. I think that's a great movie.
Never got around to seeing that,
You know what's morbid about that movie when you watch that? That is the last film Christopher Reeve was in before he injured himself.
Oh, was he really? No way.
That's the last, and it's real because his character, he's like the lead in that movie, and it's the last thing before he had that injury on the horse thing where he was paralyzed. So yeah, it's really kind of morbid watching that. And if the commentary track on the Scream Factory release, if you ever get your hands on it and can watch it, John's talking about that. And I'll tell you something funny about that movie that you may not know as a Carpenter fan. That movie was supposed to be a remake of Creature from the Black Lagoon, and Universal changed it at the last minute, and it ended up being Village, which I would have loved to have seen John remake Creature from the Black Lagoon. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, definitely, given that it was late 80s at that point, was it?
It was, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so it would have been right in his element there, I think.
It would have been great. It would have been so great. Man, I cannot thank you enough for doing this. I won't keep talking your head off. Thank you for doing this. I've had so much fun talking to you today.
I could talk fucking all day about horror films.
Yeah, man, I'm a huge fan. We'll have to do this again, hopefully in person next time. And Where Only Gods May Tread comes out from Ingested on August 14th from Unique Leader Records. And, man, I can, again, not thank you enough for your time today. This is so cool.
My pleasure. It's been a ball, man.
Prepare for the end with godless heathens. With myself, Dr. Vincent West, Medical Doctor. Coming soon on a podcast listening station near you. This is Dr. Vincent West, Medical Doctor of FANTASM Podcast. Prepare for my all-new podcast, Godless Heathens.